at WTMJ in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, a Janesville High School coach is in jail after a recording device was found inside a girls' locker room. Finn Askin is live in the WTMJ Breaking News Center with more.
Vince, according to WIC TV News, an investigation led police to 38-year-old Brian Kitzman, the school's assistant coach for the school's track and field and cross-country teams. Janesville PD announcing Monday that Kitzman allegedly admitted to his crimes.
He admitted he placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
According to the criminal complaint, Kitzman had a door that connected to the girls' locker room and would film students through a hole in that door as well as through a locker in the girls' locker room. Kitzman will make his second appearance in court on May 17th. Live in the Breaking News Center, Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
A 2-day search for a missing 8-year-old boy from Wisconsin in the Upper Peninsula is over. Nante Nimi got separated from his family during a camping trip this weekend. ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Nante Nimi was on a camping trip with his family when he got lost collecting firewood Saturday, setting off a frantic search in the woods of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. He was found Monday afternoon, sheltering under a log about 2 miles from the campsite. His school was ecstatic he was found alive.
It was like being at a big football game with a winning touchdown being scored. The entire school lit up in cheers.
More than 150 people joined that search for Nante.
It was about 40 degrees overnight, but he is said to be doing well.
2023 is now already the deadliest year for Wisconsin law enforcement in over 2 decades.
St. Croix Sheriff's Deputy Katie Lacing becoming the 4th officer killed on duty this year, the most since 2000. Executive Director of the Wisconsin Professional Police Association, Jim Palmer, tells WTMJ there's a larger pattern at play.
We've seen a serious willingness to resist officers and assault officers in particular.
Wisconsin is facing a major staffing shortage in law enforcement, with the fewest officers employed since 2008. Palmer says it's not going to be easy to change that.
This tragedy and tragedies like it are only going to, further impair the ability of law enforcement agencies throughout the state to recruit.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin State Patrol Chaplain George Papacristo tells TMJ4 News it's hard for those in law enforcement to be in this situation yet again.
It's a very stressful time for all people in law enforcement right now because there are so many dangers.
Lysing's death comes exactly 1 month after the deadly shooting of 2 officers in Barron County during a traffic stop.
The Brownsville, Texas man charged with crashing an SUV into a group of migrants has been identified as George Alvarez. ABC's Lionel Moyes reports he has a history with police.
Previous charges against him include aggravated assault, burglary, and driving while intoxicated. Authorities are looking into whether the crash was intentional, saying he ran a red light before plowing into the group, killing 8. Some victims had just left a migrant shelter, which is helping deal with the surge of migrants at the border as the Title 42 border restrictions expire.
The United States closing in on a very tragic record. Less than 5 full months into 2023, and the country already seen nearly 200 mass shootings. A Texas legislative committee is passing a bill that could curb gun violence, but it's not likely to get past the governor.
Cheers erupted after state Republicans unexpectedly advanced a bill that would raise the purchasing age for semi-automatic rifles in Texas from 18 to 21. Families of those lost in the Uvalde school shooting were among those who filled the state house before the vote. But experts say the bill has almost no chance of becoming law. Governor Greg Abbott has spoken against it and blames the recent mass shootings in his state on anger and violence, saying the root cause is mental health problems.
ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Coming up, the science of game shows. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
It's here on consignment from over 10,000 nationwide partners. From very high-end, distinctive furniture, unique antiques and original art, to tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. Premium home decor priced right at 25 to 40% off retail prices. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
From natural latex rubber and gel memory foam to pillow top pressure reducing mattresses and innerspring orthopedic firm support models, we make our very own Milwaukee mattresses. And if an electric adjustable base is what you're looking for, you won't find a better made model or a higher quality mattress to go along with it than you'll find at Ken Michaels, where factory direct pricing saves you hundreds compared to premium national mattress brands. Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee will save you money on your next mattress. Our award-winning design staff's help and expertise is always included in your Ken Michaels Furniture purchase. They know their stuff and can envision your room so you don't have to. They know both product quality as well as design, and they can put together a room that will wow you and complement your lifestyle. Thousands of fabrics and hundreds of styles, from casual to formal and traditional to today. You'll find the good stuff right here. Better built furniture for life at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's own Weniger Compressor has been in business since 1932, breathing new life into businesses all throughout the Midwest. Weniger Compressor, the Midwest air compressor experts. Available anytime at pressureisoff.biz.
Weniger Compressor.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
Brewers open the homestand in a big way. Brandon Snide has sports coming up at 5:15.
It is National Travel and Tourism Week, fresh off Visit Milwaukee's billboard appearance at Times Square in New York City. President and CEO Becky Williams-Smith tells WTMJ they're already seeing more eyes on the city.
We could see people who downloaded our apps. We do many different apps for visitors coming in, whether it be the beer pass, it could be our cheese curd pass, which gives people discounts on things to do in Milwaukee, and we had people who did download it, and we also saw a spike in website traffic.
Williams-Smith says social media now plays a key role in where people decide to travel, and it's a big part of Visit Milwaukee's strategy to attract visitors.
The nationwide writers' strike entering its second week today. ABC's Rob Hayes in Los Angeles.
The strike panning out to be more of a marathon than a sprint.
Who got the power? We got the power.
Chris Kaiser is a negotiator for the Writers Guild of America, which represents more than 11,000 screenwriters.
We're waiting for the AMPTP, the companies, to come back to the table. As I always say, we're right outside the door. They just have to open it.
The union at odds with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, which represents the major Hollywood studios. The two sides unable to agree on a long list of demands, including pay raises and streaming residuals.
The first game show aired in the 1940s, and since then they've become part of American life. But what makes these quiz shows so compelling? Well, it turns out there is a science to it.
Game shows feed our hunger for connection, competition, and camaraderie. Kenneth Sumner, professor of psychology at Montclair State University.
A lot of game shows are actually structured to get you more excited and motivated to see a great finish to a game.
And that great finish, coupled with that grand prize, tends to make us fantasize.
What would I do with that money to make my life better or my loved ones' lives better?
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Yeah, we're all going to win big. Game shows are easy on your couch.
And we'll see more of those, right? If this strike continues, won't game shows be something that they can create?
They have writers too, though, don't they? I think Pat Sajak's just making that all up when he walks out there. All right, he's got little cards. All right, who do we have here? Eric,
right.
Go ahead and Eric from Milwaukee. Tell us about yourself. Milwaukee, Laverne and Shirley, right? Thank you. 5:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
He's a former coach with two sons who played professional basketball. Satch Sullinger's a competitive individual, but his golf game was suffering because of painful joints.
Right, that's real important, the golf game. Right, as we get older, we create these bad habits because we're relegated to hit a certain way.
QC Kinetics used regenerative treatments, all natural healing properties from Satch's own body, to restore those damaged joints and get his golf game back on track.
QC Kinetics regenerative medicine is regenerating me, all natural, and that's what I'm about. I'm going to tell everybody why I'm better.
Oh, and by the way, looks like the competitive Satch is back.
We're all in the same boat, and I'm getting better, and I'm watching them stay old.
Go to QCkinetics.com. Get relief and your game back. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by the all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods. The all-new Burghardt Sporting Goods, the Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center, is now open in New Berlin.
Let's get a check on the roads here at 510 with Debbie.
All right, looking pretty good right now. We've got our volume pretty light around the area. Some fog out there, so you want to be extra careful, and no incidents up on the board. So far, so good. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some dense fog this morning, otherwise mostly sunny skies as we head through the rest of today. Highs in the low 60s by Lake Michigan, near 70 degrees inland. Tonight mostly clear, we fall to 45. Tomorrow mostly sunny, up to 68 by Lake Michigan and 75 inland. As you get into Thursday, more sunshine, near 70 by Lake Michigan, near 80 degrees inland. Friday, rain showers return. Highs in the mid-60s by Lake Michigan, mid-70s inland. And on Saturday, a few more showers, highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Marissa Walzen with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Dense fog advisory goes until 10 o'clock for Lakeshore Counties, Fond du Lac County in there as well, in addition to the Lakeshore Counties. Goes until 10 o'clock. Right now, we're at 50 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Coming up on 12 minutes after 5 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Tuesday morning. Just having an interesting conversation because Greg Pancake Hill, producer of Wisconsin's Morning News, is expecting his first child this fall.
Yeah, and before the show, we were discussing that Sum 41, which is a band that's been around for, I don't know, almost 30 years now, 25 years. They have announced that they're doing one more tour and releasing one more album, then they're done. Anyway, they're going to be in the area on, August 29th?
August 29th.
And your wife is due
September 2nd.
I think you're totally good there.
It's kind of close.
You could maybe pull that off. I don't know.
Well, you can until you can't. Right? I mean, the due date is merely a suggestion.
That's true.
Could be early, could be late. I mean, little dude could already be here.
That's a good point.
Does that help my case if little dude's already here?
Well, early in the game, a lot of people want to be around, right? Her mom will be in town, around. A lot of folks want to help those first couple weeks. You might get away with that.
I don't think you're going to want to go.
I want to go.
If baby's already here, I think you want to stay
So is
home.
it better? So it's better if baby isn't here yet, just hours away.
Yes.
But then the whole while, you need to be reachable. You need to worry about whether or not you're reachable. How many bars do I have? What's my signal? Am I on vibrate? And the volume and.
This sounds like a Vitrano thing. Has this happened to you where you were not reachable or?
I was on the golf course for our first.
Of course.
But I was reachable via pager.
So did you finish the 18?
I finished the 9.
Really?
Well, I'm on 8 at Whitnall, which was near, kind of, not that far away. And she's like, I think I should probably go in.
Okay.
And I said, am I running off the golf course right now and coming, or are you? She said, no, I'm kind of getting my stuff in order. I think fine. Finish out 9. That's right by the parking lot, and then come on over and pick me up.
Yeah.
Then I got to 9. Another call. Yeah, I'm driving myself to the hospital. No. Wait, what happened? I got nervous, whatever.
I get it, yeah.
Well, great, because how can you ever recover from that? Oh, is this like the time I had to drive myself to the hospital while you were golfing? When your first child was on the way?
How'd you shoot the 9?
That is a bankable point. She could bank
absolutely,
that.
Debbie.
Yep.
I don't recall how I shot on the 9, but I do recall some 16 hours later the baby came. So
yeah. There you go.
Could have played 18. 5:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Join Trees on the Move this weekend from 9 to 4 for our annual Mother's Day sale with savings up to 30% on selected nursery stock. Maples, linden, birch, ornamental trees, flowering crab, and all varieties of evergreens. There's over 20,000 trees to choose from. Our landscape architects will be on hand to answer all of your patio, retaining wall, and backyard questions. Call 262-679-5200 for more info or see treesonthemove.com.
From planning to planting, Trees on the Move.
I just learned Discover credit cards do something awesome. At the end of your first year, they automatically double all the cash back you've earned. That's right, everything you earned. Doubled. See terms and check it out for yourself at discover.com/match.
You got to get to Built Right today for affordable, better quality furniture and mattresses. Built Right.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
It has been an up and down start for Brewers rookie Joey Wiemer at the plate. He has shown more flashes with his glove than his bat, but the script, that was flipped on Monday night back in Milwaukee against the Dodgers.
The pitch, swing and a drive to left and deep. Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Joey Wiemer! That was contact there. Tried to shoot the inside corner on Joey Wiemer, and he hit a 3-run bullet out of here.
Bob Uecker on the call there as Wiemer belted his third homer of his career, and after losing 6 in a row, the Brewers are now winners of 2 straight after taking care of the Dodgers Monday night at American Family Field. This one by a final score of 9-3.
Winning feels good. Losing really sucks. So just it's nice to get back on the horse. We were scuffing a little bit, putting that in the rearview mirror and just going out and playing the game every day.
Brewers Joey Wiemer there describing winning is fun and losing really sucks, and I think most Brewers fans there would agree with him. Freddie Peralta did get the start for the Crew, and he was, once again, magnificent, going 6 strong innings, only allowing 1 earned run on his way to his 4th win of the season and helping the Brewers secure win number 20. They are currently 20-15. The Brewers are right back at it tonight against LA. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ starting at 6:05. Eric Lauer is expected to get the start. Over to the NBA, where the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers both take a commanding 3-1 lead in their respective series. The Heat take care of the Knicks 109-101 in Miami, and the Lakers use a strong second half to take down the Warriors in Los Angeles. That one by a final of 104-101. Round 2 of the NBA playoffs continues on tonight with Philly and Boston tipping off at 6:30. Followed by Phoenix and Denver at 9 p.m.
Coming up, Paranoia Game Update, 5:18 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
All the glitz and glamour headed our way, and we've rolled out the red carpet just for them.
And a chopper up the third baseline, charging as Anderson, bare hand throw across his body. Oh my goodness, Brian Anderson.
It's the Brewers and the Dodgers. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05.
Backhanded by Adames, throw, one knocked at first, in time. Oh, what a play by Adames.
We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. My wife Michelle and I are taking an incredible holiday trip with Colette Vacations later this year to New York City.
One night in New York.
Start spreading the news. Magical New York City, all decked out for the holidays. The first week in December, an amazing itinerary. Trip highlights include a Rockettes holiday show at historic Radio City Music Hall, the world-famous Rockefeller Christmas tree. We'll walk to dinner and a show on Broadway, take a river cruise of New York Harbor and the Statue of Liberty, and stunning Central Park. It's New York, holiday trip. Us and listeners, won't you please come with us? Going to be incredible, an awesome hotel right in the heart of Times Square. Let me send you one of our beautiful brochures. Send me an email, john.mercure@WTMJ.com, john.mercure@WTMJ.com. Festive and fun. Great itinerary. John.Mercure, MERCURE@WTMJ.com.
In New York.
Won't you come with us this December? I'd like for you to wake up with us in the city that never sleeps.
Fleet Farm is the place to catch deals on everything you need for your next fishing trip. Don't miss out. Get 2 Berkley Flicker Sheds for just $7. Plus, shop our huge selection of fishing gear from top brands like Rapala and St. Croix. Choose from over 10,000 lures and find Fleet Farm exclusive colors. Get all of your fishing essentials in one stop at Fleet Farm, your fishing headquarters.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
Indeed, Debbie. Dense fog advisory goes until 10 o'clock this morning for Lakeshore counties and Fond du Lac in there as well. I didn't see it causing any problems, but it definitely was foggy on my ride in.
Okay, yeah, so the visibility is not that great, so you do want to be extra careful out there. No bright lights, just the regular headlights, please. For the most part, we're looking pretty, and you're not going to need the headlights too much longer anyways, the sun's coming up. So for the most part, everything is looking pretty good. Not seeing any incidents up on the board. Looks like the overnight construction stuff has all been pulled back as well, so I think we are in good shape. But while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you happen to see something we should know about, give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
You have patchy fog this morning, and it will yield to mostly sunny skies today. Pretty nice day ahead. 70 degrees your inland high. Will be a bit cooler near Lake Michigan. Mostly clear tonight in the Storm Team forecast from meteorologist Marissa Wallison. Low down to 45. Mostly sunny Wednesday. 75 degrees inland. Cooler near the lake. Mostly sunny on Thursday. Marissa's got a high of 80 on Thursday. Going for it. 10 degrees cooler if you're by Lake Michigan. Then Friday, showers return. 65 at the lake. 76 inland. Saturday, more showers and the same type of temperatures. 65 at the lake. 70 degrees away from Lake Michigan. 50 right now in Milwaukee. .522 on this Tuesday morning, Wisconsin's Morning News. Eric, more than perhaps many other topics that we discussed on this program, I've heard from people about the paranoia game.
Of course.
Other people who are parents about our age, you've got high school age kids, are like, oh yeah, paranoia game's going on in my neighborhood.
Naked people everywhere.
It's one of the provisions in some of the rules. Quick backup, and then I'll give you the update on the paranoia game going on in Greendale. At current. I believe Franklin's game might be done already. I've heard from folks out in Lake Country that there's a pretty solid game in a number of those school districts. In a lot of those, they're using Nerf guns as opposed to water guns.
I don't see how that works with a Nerf gun.
Fraught with
There's
peril.
a lot of honor involved in that. So.
Well, and you will see, Deb, that is a problem here in the paranoia game. For those who don't know what it is, it's high schools. Primarily, I'm seeing senior classes put on what they call the paranoia game in spring. Other places call it the assassin game or whatever. You divide up into teams, so a few of your classmates, and they form a team. And then it's basically just a giant squirt gun fight. There are rules of engagement, and your team is trying to go up against another team and get them out of the game. And you do that by spraying somebody with a squirt gun.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds fun. It sounds innocent. We went through this whole conversation about it Friday about the issues that some local police departments are having because you got kids who get really out of hand. They're up on rooftops. They're prowling around in people's backyards.
Yep, freaks people out.
Freaks out the police because somebody calls.
Mm-hmm.
They have to answer the call. You got kids running around. Like, it's hard. So as a parent, like I'm largely on board. I encourage it. I think it's fun. The kids are having a blast with it, with exception of those who get out of hand. I think there's a level of coordination you can maybe have if your student leaders can meet with the local police department and say, this is going on. Can we get some advice from you? Let's keep lines of communication open so there are no misunderstandings here. But what's funny to me is the complexity of the game. So most schools, it seems, administer their game via social media. So you have to show that you've gotten someone out on the game by taking a picture with them.
Sure, yeah.
The rules and various updates to the rules are issued in statements on the social media page. In ours, it's GHS 2023 Paranoia. It's being administered by this dude, I think it's Kaysen. Kaysen's in charge.
Okay.
Over there in Greendale.
Sounds like a tough job, a lot of pressure.
It is a tough job. He's losing his mind because he's dealing with a bunch of his idiot classmates who keep trying to cheat or do whatever. And so the latest update, I'm reading this for comedic purposes, updated rules, Eric.
Okay, good.
If someone is in, so this is issued in a statement, so there are a whole bunch of pictures on the Instagram feed, and then when there are rules updates, that's just a black background and text, okay? So that's when you know that a rule edict has come down. So updated rules. If someone is in their house or their car and you are outside, you can still shoot them and they can shoot you. I just want to clarify that.
Okay.
Parking lots are included in the locations that are off limits. Work, school, religious stuff.
All right.
Can't be blasting people at church. You are not allowed, important clarification here, you are not, all caps, allowed to open anyone's car door or trunk at any time, just like you cannot open a door to a house or their garage. You can't break in. So you can't go hide out in your buddy's car because he left it open.
All right.
But here's where Kaysen is losing his mind, this recent post. Just wanted to remind all players this is meant to be a fun game. We apologize if any decisions made have upset players in any way, but in those situations, it is difficult to please all teams and players.
Oh, boy.
Here's his last statement. It has been a challenging job being in charge of players out, police situations, disagreements, running the account, responding to those who have questions, etc. So if anyone would like to take over or feels they can do a better job, let me know. But just a heads up, it's not as easy as it looks.
This is great. This is life 101 for him.
Right?
I'm proud of him. He's going to be a great manager someday.
Going to be in a leadership position at work and be like, listen, I already administered Paranoia 2023. I got this. News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average. That was down about 56 points to 33,617. The NASDAQ up 21 to 12,257. S&P 500 closed up as well to 4138. That was up just a couple of points. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Get help now. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Amish Outdoor Furniture with poly and wood available. And that poly is the richest of outdoor furniture. It's just about indestructible and will virtually last forever. At Erickson's, we have poly furniture in abundance, so you're guaranteed to see a great selection. The beauty of it is you can put it outside all year round and not worry about it, because the color runs all the way through, so it doesn't fade, and minor nicks and scratches won't hurt the look. Erickson's Landscape Supply. For an abundant selection of poly and wood Amish outdoor furniture, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. You'll be hard-pressed to find a better selection of metal yard art than we have here at Erickson's. Anything from natural and painted metal signs to painted roosters from 1 to 6 feet tall. Natural steel flying ducks and cattails. Cute little frogs, geckos, pigs, flamingos, and goats. And palm trees. The list is endless. And that's why you come here. Erickson's Landscape Supply, right on Spring Street in Union Grove, where you'll find a fantastic array of artisanal metal yard art. Visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. Or better yet, drive on over and take a gander at the goods.
Why are you dressed like George Washington? I thought we were going colonial today.
No, we're talking about the colonial bedroom today.
The Colonial Collection at Penny Mustard is so versatile. It can be dressed up for a grand formal look, like me.
Or dressed down for a cozy, simple feel.
It also features hidden compartments to store your wooden teeth. The Colonial Bedroom Collection, with queen panel bed, 8-drawer dresser, mirror, and 3-drawer nightstand, starting at just $80.37 at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest. Accurate Basement Repair and Siding Unlimited. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Morning News National Anthem is powered by Weniger Compressor, American patriotism made in Wisconsin. This is the Janesville Craig High School Chorus.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
It's 5:30. I'm Vince Vetrano. Our top story, a teacher jailed in Janesville.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The search ends in the UP.
I'm Brandon Snide. The Brewers bring the bats out to welcome the Dodgers to Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We are in the clear. Just watch out for some of that leftover fog on your Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic.
Patchy fog today, and then mostly sunny, high of 63 at the lake, 70 degrees inland.
More vigils and remembrances for the victims of the mass shooting at that Texas mall last weekend. Here's ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Two families lost multiple loved ones, including the Cho family. Q and Cindy Cho died along with their 3-year-old son. Their 6-year-old survived. Also killed, the Mendoza sisters, ages 8 and 11. Their mom is listed in critical condition. The girls' school principal describes them as rays of sunshine.
Authorities discovering that the alleged gunman had posted extremist views on his social media accounts. There's a big meeting today at the White House between President Biden and the top 4 congressional leaders. The discussion focusing on raising the nation's debt ceiling so the government is still able to pay its bills. Closing arguments are over and deliberations are set to begin today in the battery and defamation civil trial against former President Donald Trump. E. Jean Carroll alleging he raped her decades ago in a department store dressing room and defamed her when he said that was a lie. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, a Janesville High School coach is now in jail, charged with 2 felonies after a recording device was found inside the girls' locker room. According to WISC-TV in Madison, an investigation led police to the 38-year-old Brian Kitzman, the school's assistant coach for track and field. Janesville police announcing Monday that Kitzman is accused of several crimes and admitted to them.
He admitted he placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
Kitzman is scheduled to make his first court appearance May 17th.
The 2-day search for a missing boy in the Upper Peninsula is over. Nante Niemi from Hurley got separated from his family during a camping trip over the weekend in the UP. ABC's Morgan Norwood.
An 8-year-old missing for 2 days in a Michigan state park has quite the story to tell.
He said he wasn't really scared. He said something about there was a spider crawling over him, but that was it.
Family friend Eli Tosma was among several looking for him.
I heard Colin yell, "We found him!" And then I went sprinting as fast as I could over there. And then as soon as he saw me, he was like, "Eli!" And he stuck out his arms, and I gave him a big hug.
Remarkably, Nante is okay, despite having no food or water.
He was found Monday afternoon again sheltering under a log about 2 miles from the family's campsite.
Family of a Fond du Lac woman shot and killed over the weekend, pleading with the killers to come forward. The victim's sister-in-law telling TMJ4 News she is tired of violence.
I just think the guns have gotten out of control. I think there's too many young kids getting a hold of weapons.
Police looking for 2 teenagers. They're calling them persons of interest, 17-year-old Antonio Johnston and 14-year-old Paris E. Larry Jr. The victim, Tatiana Zek, was 20 years old.
An update to a story we first told you about Monday in Wisconsin's Morning News. One person dead now after a birthday party in Grafton ends with 4 overdosing on cocaine, and a woman then mauled by her dog. Police responding to a chaotic scene at a home in Grafton on Falls Road near 17th Street early Saturday. 4 friends out celebrating a birthday at a bar came home, used cocaine, which was laced with fentanyl. Officers used Narcan, which revived 3. It wasn't able to work on the 4th. Now 1 man dead, and police looking at a reckless homicide charge for the dealer.
A suspected elderly drunk driver struck 2 other drivers while going the wrong way for nearly 4 miles on the freeway. I-43, Milwaukee County. According to the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office, the 78-year-old driver got on the freeway at Fond du Lac on the off-ramp Monday and began traveling northbound in the southbound lanes. The driver now facing 3 charges, including operating while under the influence and recklessly endangering safety. No serious injuries reported.
Coming up, the writer's strike hits home for one popular show.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:34. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, a group of doctors I trusted with my knee surgery. The pain was real and options were important. My experience with each doctor was thorough, the appointments were timely, always close and easy access to the building. My mom felt the same way, I know, when she went there for her physical therapy appointments at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I trusted their surgical team for my knee surgery, and I know they'll take care of you the way they did my mom and me. Make an appointment at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, this is Bo stepping in for Ridgetop Larry. Ridgetop Exteriors is Wisconsin's #1 choice for roofing, siding, windows, and doors. We are the trusted local experts who live and work in the areas we serve, which means we're helping friends and neighbors too. On top of that, Ridgetop Exteriors offers the most affordable payment options, including no interest and low interest financing. For your free estimate, visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com.
Hello, it's Tony Drake, founder of Drake & Associates. Do you think your taxes will be lower in retirement? A lot of people think that. Then the tax bills come in and people realize they're paying as much, if not more, in taxes than when they were working. How taxes can affect your retirement is one of the chapters in my new book, Get Retirement Ready. Learn what your taxes might look like in retirement and what you can do to potentially lower them. You'll also read about many other topics that could impact your retirement. Get your free copy of Get Retirement Ready and a bonus Retirement Ready toolkit by calling or texting TAX to 414-404-4994. Could you lower your tax bill? Get my new book and Retirement Ready toolkit to find out by texting TAX to 414-404-4994.
Investment advisory services provided by Drake & Associates, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products are offered through a separate company, Law Financial Group, LLC. Registration as an investment advisor does not imply any level of skill or training.
The Midwest's best baseball and softball training facility and retail center is here in New Berlin, and it's ready for you and your team. From little leaguers to hardcore players and trainers, this is the place you'll want to be.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:37.
The NFL schedule is due out this week, and there are some big changes proposed. How that could affect your weekend Packers viewing coming up at 5:45.
The debate over proposed shared revenue plan moving from Madison now to Milwaukee.
A majority of county supervisors are in favor of a resolution calling for an increase in shared revenue without the restrictions on Milwaukee in the current bill. District 11 Supervisor Kathleen Vincent.
I think we need a strong message sent to Madison.
Republicans in the legislature say those restrictions are needed to avoid another financial situation like the one the city and county are currently in. A sentiment echoed by District 17 Steve Taylor.
Decades of wasteful spending is why I will not support this.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
It's National Travel and Tourism Week, and Visit Milwaukee President and CEO Peggy Williams-Smith telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're using new ways to promote the city of Milwaukee to visitors.
Traditional advertising and marketing isn't what it used to be. You spend a lot of time scrolling through Instagram Reels or Instagram deciding where you're going to take your next trip. So if you're not there, it's like you're invisible. So our team has done a great job.
They're not abandoning the traditional advertising avenues just yet, however, with Williams-Smith saying they did see a bump in online traffic from Visit Milwaukee's Times Square billboards in December.
A Game of Thrones spin-off is the latest project delayed by the writer's strike.
Game of Thrones creator George R.R. Martin is hard at work on a lot of things, but his second Game of Thrones prequel series isn't one of them now because of the writer's strike. He announced on his blog that A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, The Hedge Knight, has shut down its writer's room. This is the so-called Duncan Egg Show, which is in the early stages. Martin also revealed that he unequivocally supports the strike and that Season 2 of House of the Dragon, HBO's other Game of Thrones prequel, won't be affected. That all scripts were finished months ago, along with revisions. He says the rest is in the hands of the directors, cast, crew, and of course, the dragons. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood.
I also read Stranger Things is in there. I don't know how they're still writing that, for the love of...
Yeah, shouldn't it already be written?
My gosh, due out in 2037. 5:38 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Differentiation Officer Brian Wickert reminding home shoppers that working with AccuNet is different and better than working with your bank. Most bank pre-approvals state they've only verified the potential home buyer's credit, but not their income or money for down payment. To us, that's just crazy. AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval tells the seller we've checked out all three aspects of your financial health and that we'll pay $2,000 if our pre-approval is faulty. Banks don't do that, but they do have a lot of overhead with all their vice presidents and fancy branches. We keep overhead low, which means lower rates and closing costs that are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks. Most importantly, our loan consultants can show you and your agent how to improve your financing and appraisal contingencies so your offer has the best chance of winning in a multiple offer situation. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Click on the blue button today for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
Traffic is sponsored by TaybackAttorneys.com. Veterans benefits denied? Call Tayback for the payback.
Call Tayback for the payback. Tayback Law is the local veterans benefit claims law firm. They're now accepting Camp Lejeune claims. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
20 to 6 here. Let's get a check on the roads with Debbie.
We are still in good shape right now. East and westbound 94, pretty much standard speeds. The fog looks to be kind of burning off right now, so at least we got that going for us, and most of the construction looking like all that is clear as well. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some dense fog this morning, which will eventually clear. Looking at more sunshine today. Highs in the low 60s by the lakefront, near 70 degrees inland. Tonight, mostly clear. We fall to 45. Tomorrow, mostly sunny into the upper 60s by Lake Michigan, mid-70s inland. Thursday, more sunshine near 70 by the lake, near 80 degrees inland. Friday, showers return. Highs will be in the mid-60s by Lake Michigan, mid-70s inland. More showers on Saturday. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Marissa Wallace with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Our temperature in Milwaukee, 50 degrees. .541 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Big announcement regarding travel out of Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. Big announcement, I said, Eric.
Yeah, we got a press release about it.
Yeah, and that means it's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's a big, pretty white plane with red stripes and curtains in the window and wheels, and it looks like a big Tylenol.
Announced yesterday via official news release. Milwaukee County takes lead in supporting hometown airports. Okay, so the county announced a new travel policy that will require employees who are traveling on county business to always and exclusively fly in and out of Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport.
Wonder how often that's a deal.
So do I. Here's the quote from Milwaukee County Executive David Crawley. This is a logical change when county employees travel for work. They must use our community airport. If we all choose MKE over a Chicago airport, we could add dozens of new flights, hundreds of new jobs, and millions of dollars to Wisconsin's economy rather than sending those dollars to Illinois. In fairness to the county exec, this is a leadership thing. Like he wants other companies to also do this, right? Yeah. But to your point, is this really something, the county moving all travel exclusively out of Mitchell, something that moves the needle noticeably for Mitchell?
Is the ball start to roll that much further down?
How much traveling are we doing on the county dime?
Where are we going?
And isn't it mostly out of Mitchell already? That would be my first question. The second question is, who's traveling out of state on the county dime right now?
That's a great question.
Like all we've heard for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks is we're broke, we're broke, we're broke, we're broke. We need more money from the state. We need to raise sales tax.
Well,
we
there
need to
could
do
be
all
a
this
convention or two maybe in Atlanta or in Jacksonville.
Right. Yes,
do
exactly.
We have direct flights?
Well, and then on that, shouldn't we then at least be taking the cheapest flights? I mean, if you can get on the dollar bus and go to O'Hare, I love my hometown airport. I think MKE is one of the things that Milwaukee does really well.
Yeah, love that airport. I do.
But man, if you can save $500 on travel on the county dime, shouldn't you do that?
I wanted some cheaper fares and direct flights, and you got me all day, every day.
I would suggest if there's a spot in the nowhere left to cut Milwaukee County budget, I'd look first there. And why are we sending people anywhere? It would be out-of-state travel no matter where you fly out of.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After a rough road trip out west, the Brewers were back at home Monday and seemed to have finally found their offensive groove.
The pitch. High fly ball, deep right field. Back goes Hayward at the track. Gone! Willie Adames with the exclamation point here in the 7th. A 3-run shot, and it is 9-1 Brewers.
Lane Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ as Willie hit number 101, just hit 100 on Sunday to break open the score there at 9-1. As you heard, the Brewers used a 6-run 7th inning to break it open, and behind a very, very, very strong start from starter Freddie Peralta, who went 6 strong innings. Milwaukee takes care of the Dodgers Monday night by a final score of 9-3.
Yeah, he was excellent tonight. Very good lineup. And, I thought the fastball was just really good tonight. And he did it largely with a fastball tonight. Him pitching the way he has and is, you're looking forward to his start every time because he's delivering.
Milwaukee is right back at it tonight against Los Angeles at American Family Field. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ at 6:05. Eric Lauer is expected to get the start. Over to the NFL, where the Packers got a peek at what their future could look like with rookie minicamp over the weekend. Matt LaFleur got his first look at first-round pick Lucas Van Ness wearing the green and gold.
Yeah, he's big, he's fast, he's explosive. Again, another young player that I think has his best football will be in front of him. He's got a lot to learn, and you can tell he's got the heart, he's got the drive, and we're going to push him each and every day to try to get him there as fast as humanly possible. But, he's going to be a fun guy to work with.
The NFL schedules will be released on Thursday. Some notable changes coming to you for the schedule this year. Take note, a Black Friday game for the first time ever. There's a couple on Thanksgiving. There'll be one on Friday. All games are up for bidding, meaning no games belong to any networks anymore. Usually see the Packers on Fox. That might not be the case this year. They're up to the networks to bid out, and teams can be on Thursday Night Football twice this season. And finally, not all teams are guaranteed to have a prime time spot.
They're also considering yet another change to that Thursday night schedule. We'll talk about that and how it could impact Packers fans all across Wisconsin. That's next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
The Brewers Radio Network's Lane Grindle sees it all from the broadcast booth.
Down the right field line, this is up, and it is going to fly out of here.
But what's he like off the air?
It's 2023. It's the year of the cheesehead.
Lane Grindle joins Wisconsin's afternoon news every Monday during the Brewers' 2023 campaign.
There'd be nothing better in my life than to be the brother of Lane Grindle.
I did not have a brother, so, John, we can make honorary brothers.
Right here on the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Tri-County Contracting, the folks I trusted to get up on top of my roof for a worry-free roof tune-up. Not everybody needs a new roof, and I trusted these guys to tell me exactly that, but also to fix what needed fixing. Sometimes it's a few small things, sometimes much larger, but it's all included in the $650 roof tune-up. Just heard from my guy Chuck Zico over there at Tri-County. He was out at the house, and so was Tony. Tony was up on my roof. You know what I found out about Tony? Tony's wife also works for Tri-County Contracting.
Is that right?
So when you call over there, you might be talking to Tony's wife. That's Amanda over there. She's very friendly, and she would like to hear from you. Okay? So when you call and talk, sign up for your worry-free roof tune-up from Tri-County Contracting. Talk to Amanda. Tell them Vinny and the guys sent you here at Wisconsin's Morning News. 262-217-8150. It's TriCountyContracting.wy.com.
Champagne's not as cheap as ginger ale, and you can't buy caviar for the same price as candy. But now, you can buy Beautyrest Hybrid and the highest-end Tempur-Pedic mattresses for nowhere near highest-end prices. Hasseless Mattress is clearing out a handful of premium floor models, like the Beautyrest Queen Haven Bay. Was on sale for $1,178, now just $471. Only a few remain, and they will sell out. Find a self-service, employee-free showroom near you at Hasseless.com.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Announcing Sendik's Bragg & Burger Battle. Submit your burger recipe on Sendix.com for a chance at a $500 Sendix gift card and have your burger sold at Sendix for Father's Day.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
10 minutes to 6, traffic sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. Fog caused any problems, Deb?
Not at the moment that I can see. It seems to be moving along pretty well. Some of the areas like 41 at Burleigh, I'm seeing some fog, and points north, so you do want to be extra careful around that. But for the most part, we got light volume. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. Like the next few days, we do have this patchy fog this morning, dense fog advisory for our lakeshore counties, Fond du Lac in there as well until 10 a.m. That will yield to mostly sunny skies and a high of 70 degrees, a little bit cooler near the lake. Mostly clear tonight with a low down to 45. For your Wednesday and Thursday, both days mostly sunny. Temperatures in the upper 60s to low 70s near the lake. 75, your inland high on Wednesday. 80 degrees if you're away from Lake Michigan on Thursday. Then showers return Friday with a high of 76 degrees inland, cooler near the lake. Saturday, showers continue. 65 at the lake, 70 inland right now, 50 degrees in Milwaukee. 5:52 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Tuesday morning. Yeah, you just heard Brandon mention in sports the NFL is set to release its schedule for all teams coming up Thursday night. But there is a provision that's still being talked about, something that could change the schedule, particularly late in the season. Let me read to you from Richard Ryman's article in the Green Bay Press-Gazette. The NFL is poised to make life for Green Bay Packers fans unpleasant, confusing, and expensive. That doesn't sound like a very good change.
No.
Right. League owners in May, so coming up soon, will consider a proposal to allow games late in the season to be rescheduled from Sundays to Thursdays to shore up that Thursday night football lineup that virtually nobody likes. But Amazon paid $1 billion for the rights to stream those games coming up. Here's what else he writes. No one outside the NFL office and Amazon boardroom thinks this is a good idea. Players hate it. Coaches hate it. Game-attending fans will learn to hate it with a passion.
So essentially, it's like flexing a game from like a noon start to a 7:30 start on a Sunday, but this is flexing it from a Sunday to a Thursday?
Yes. And that's a huge deal. I mean, we've sort of gotten used
Well, with
to
travel plans, that's massive.
The ripple effects are huge, exactly. So we'll get into a few of those. Let me get you on record here with Packers president and CEO Mark Murphy. Here's how he's quoted. I think particularly with our fan base and the way people travel to Lambeau Field, flexing that Thursday night game could be a real issue for our fans. We're against that, but I know it's a priority for the league. The future is streaming. They want Amazon to be successful, but I think we have to be careful about how we treat our fans in the stands.
Agreed.
Exactly. So let's start there. You're a season ticket holder, or even, boy, it's somebody's birthday in August. You bought them tickets to that December game because you wanted them to have, hey, listen, we're going to the Packer game.
Packers,
Happy birthday.
Bears.
Right,
yada,
exactly.
yada.
And that's a Sunday afternoon start or something, and now it comes on a Thursday?
That changes everything.
I know a lot of fans. We talked to a lot of fans here who are Milwaukee season ticket holders, and they're already bent out of shape over those Thursday night games that they get, or even the Sunday nighters, because it's such a late night getting back. You almost have to take the next day off of work.
Well, you know, we've also talked about how not just the Packers, but stadiums in general are trying to find new ways to keep people interested, to keep the younger generation interested in going to the games, to spend that money, to make that investment, to enjoy and be entertained for 3+ hours or whatnot during a game. And aren't you cutting off your nose a little bit? Obviously, you need to make sure that Amazon's happy and get the league all going, but aren't you kicking those fans that are literally going to the games?
And if we have more and more empty seats in stadiums, that's not good for TV viewing. We had that during COVID. Empty stadiums and the games playing out just felt weird. They were piping in crowd noise and stuff. It felt strange. One of the things I love about the pageantry of the NFL or sports in general is fans going nuts.
Yes.
It's fun. The Lambeau Leap, if nobody's there, I'm not saying that no one will go to these games, but right. So it impacts fans in the stands. Let's talk about some of the other ripple effects, because I worked for years in Green Bay, and the story that I would get assigned, or many of us would get assigned, on the day the schedule came out is go around to hotels.
Yep.
They would book up that night. It was a huge day when the schedule was released for Green Bay area and down into the Fox Valley for all those hotels, because people who wanted to travel, even from outstate, much less, I'm taking the trip of a lifetime, I'm from wherever, I'm coming to Lambeau Field, they would book out those hotels. It's really important for keeping those businesses viable. What about the bars? What about the restaurants that staff up and product up? I mean, they order extra beer, they order the stuff. I mean, they'll still get that home game.
When
but
do you
everything
sell more?
shifts.
When do you sell more? Would that be a noon game? Would that when you have all day?
I bet you the 3 o'clock game.
That's the best day?
3
Your best
o'clock
time?
Sunday afternoon, because people got a lot of time to get up there. They can get up there real early. They can do the whole thing. They can stop at your business for breakfast or whatever, then tailgate, then.
Then maybe stay the night.
And most people probably stay the night. I was going to say, the game don't get over till 7 o'clock.
All right. You know who else is concerned? The airport. Austin Straubel, just outside of Green Bay there, right across from the casino. The airport director there was saying, coming in, probably not a problem, because people come in at all sorts of different times, and then everybody wants to leave the next day. And he's wondering about airlines being able to shift. What about people who have to, all right, I had tickets for this day, now I want to change that. Will the airlines cooperate with them?
Well, what about, I mean, you go up to Lambeau to do some of the volunteer stuff, right? To fundraise.
They, like the Brewers, like the Bucks, rely on community groups, nonprofits to staff their concession stands. That's one of the things we've been doing for cheer and for band at my kids' high school.
Can you imagine if they switched that on you?
Okay, I'm signed up to work a noon game at Lambeau in December. All of a sudden, that's a Thursday nighter. I'm out.
Well, no, they would give you time, right? It's not like they decide that week. You'd get like a 2-week or 3-week notice.
I was seeing they were talking about 15 days, possibly as much as 30. But either way, trying to recruit people to work the stadium on a Thursday night, just either employees or the volunteers, that's a challenge as well. But as was stated by Mark Murphy, they want to keep Amazon happy. They did pay $1 billion for these rights, and they want to help bolster that. But as usual, we're on the receiving end of not great news as fans. 5:57 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Business headlines are up next. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
Milwaukee County orders its employees to fly out of Mitchell Airport when traveling on county business. That new policy kicks in as the airport in 2022 recorded an increase in traffic over 2021. A new garden shop planned for Milwaukee debuts as a pop-up this week. The Buttercup store will open on East Oklahoma Avenue, just outside the Small Pie restaurant. A draft Wisconsin bill could be announced today to use financial and other incentives to remove regulations that increase the cost of building homes. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you're sleeping at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients. And what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventNows.com.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is not insurance.
At SimpliSafe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with SimpliSafe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with interactive monitoring at simplisafe.com/radio. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
The place to get caught up, to speak out, to connect and be entertained. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 6 o'clock. I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, May 9th. Our top story, 2 felonies for a Janesville teacher.
I'm Eric Bilstead. A lost Wisconsin boy found in the UP.
I'm Brandon Snide. Fast Freddy was fantastic as the crew notches 2 in a row.
I'm Debbie Lazga. Everything looks to be moving along pretty well, though we are definitely seeing some of that thicker fog through the Zoo Interchange and along 41 north and southbound a little bit, so just be extra careful as you're driving around out there. I'm Debbie Lazga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Patchy fog today under mostly sunny skies later with a high of 70 degrees away from Lake Michigan. A little bit cooler by the lake, mostly clear tonight, low down to 45. Right now we're at 50 with that patchy fog. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a Janesville high school coach is now in jail, accused of recording students inside the girls' locker room. In fact, police say they found a device inside that locker room. Finn Askin live with the WTMJ Breaking News Center with more.
Vince, an investigation led police to 38-year-old Brian Kitzman, the school's assistant coach for the school's track and field and cross-country teams. Janesville PD announcing Monday that Kitzman allegedly admitted to his crimes.
He admitted he placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
According to the criminal complaint, Kitzman had a door that connected to the girls' locker room and would film students through a hole in that door, as well as through a locker in the girls' locker room. Kitzman will make his second appearance in court on May 17th. Live in the Breaking News Center, Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
The 2-day search for a missing 8-year-old boy from Wisconsin found in the UP. It's now over. ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Nante Nimi was on a camping trip with his family when he got lost collecting firewood Saturday, setting off a frantic search in the woods of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. He was found Monday afternoon, sheltering under a log about 2 miles from the campsite. His school was ecstatic he was found alive.
It was like being at a big football game with a winning touchdown being scored. The entire school lit up in cheers.
More than 150 people joined that search for Nante.
Nante from Hurley, Wisconsin, again found Monday afternoon 2 miles from his campsite.
After St. Croix Sheriff's Deputy Katie Lysing's death over the weekend, 2023 now already the most deadly year for Wisconsin law enforcement in over 2 decades.
Executive Director of the Wisconsin Professional Police Association, Jim Palmer, tells WTMJ there's a larger pattern at play.
We've seen a serious willingness to resist officers and assault officers in particular.
Wisconsin is facing a major staffing shortage in law enforcement, with the fewest officers employed since 2008. Palmer says it's not going to be easy to change that.
This tragedy and tragedies like it are only going to, further impair the ability of law enforcement agencies throughout the state to recruit.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
Wisconsin State Patrol Chaplain George Papacristo tells TMJ4 News it's hard for those in law enforcement to be in this situation yet again.
It's a very stressful time for all people in law enforcement right now because there are so many dangers.
Lysing's death comes exactly a month after the deadly shooting of 2 officers in Barron County.
The lack of charges so far against Daniel Penny in the alleged chokehold death of Jordan Neely last week has led to another public outcry. Latest was Monday night. Dozens of protesters participated in a march in New York City. ABC's Derek Waller.
The march of about 150 people started peacefully enough, but later on outside the Broadway Lafayette subway station, police began arresting a handful of protesters for a variety of unspecified offenses, including unlawful sound amplification, like the use of a bullhorn. This was really a chaotic scene. Some of the arrested protesters found themselves bruised and bloody.
A surge of migrants is anticipated at the southern border as the COVID-era Title 42 restrictions expire. ABC's Lionel Maurice.
The governor of Texas announcing a new tactical border force. The group, consisting of hundreds of National Guard members, is tasked with turning back migrants at the border. Officials are bracing for up to 10,000 migrants crossing per day after the policy ends Thursday, but the surge has already started. Border Patrol reports 26,000 migrants were apprehended in just 72 hours this week.
Coming up, what's that just hit the house? Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:05.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
No drafts. Don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
When I came up with this half-combumbled idea of opening a furniture store in Milwaukee, I still think you're crazy.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
My college professors, I was quitting college to start this, and they were, oh, absolutely, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I had a girlfriend told me not to do it.
But I guess we kind of looked at it as, what's the worst that could happen? We'd have been in debt and we'd owed a lot of money back.
It wouldn't have been that much money. We didn't have that much money, and nobody borrowed us any, so.
So what if I had to work 3 years to pay off all that debt before I made any money again for myself and then go forward from there again?
PennyMustard.com.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Euro Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
I'm Jim Cantrell, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to FinancialStrategiesInc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation.
Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:07.
Brewers open this homestand in a big way. Brandon Snyder Sports at 6:15.
National Travel and Tourism Week, fresh off Visit Milwaukee's billboard appearance at Times Square in New York City. The president and CEO, Peggy Williams-Smith, tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're already seeing more eyes on Brew City.
You could see people who downloaded our apps. We do many different apps for visitors coming in, whether it be the beer pass, it could be our cheese curd pass, which gives people discounts on things to do in Milwaukee. And we had people who did download it. And we also saw a spike in website traffic.
Williams-Smith says social media now plays a key role in where people decide to travel. It's a big part of Visit Milwaukee's strategy.
Summer travel season will soon be upon us, and the Biden administration wants the airlines to offer better compensation for stranded and inconvenienced passengers. Here's ABC's Derek Dennis.
The industry group Airlines for America warns the proposed rules will hurt customers by forcing airlines to raise fares. This all coming as the cost of summer travel is expected to be down 20% domestically compared to last year. Rental cars down 17%. But if you're flying internationally, expect to pay about 36% more this summer, the highest in 5 years.
Some residents of New Jersey lucky to be alive after what appears to be a meteorite hit their house.
Authorities in Hopewell Township, New Jersey, near Trenton, say they believe a meteor slammed through the roof of a house on Monday. They say the object is metallic and about 4 inches by 6 inches, and that it burst through the ceiling of a home, coming to rest on the floor. The home was occupied at the time, but authorities say no one was injured. Police in Hopewell say they've reached out to multiple agencies to positively identify the object, but it's suspected it may be part of the ongoing Eta Aquarids meteor shower. Mark Remillard, ABC News, New York.
So when does the meteor become the meteorite? When it hits your roof or when it hits the floor?
When it comes to rest
yes.
on the floor?
Because it's a meteor until it's found here on Earth, then it's a meteorite.
Meteorite, okay.
I say when it's on the floor. It can hit stuff on the way down.
When it comes to rest. Yeah.
Really not the takeaway from the story, I suppose. Good thing I'm here. 6:09 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
You receive a diagnosis from a doctor. You do some reading about it. Talk with your loved ones about it. You feel good about proceeding. Well, pretty good, that is. There's that one thing nagging at you. It's probably nothing, right? Or is it? A good reason to get a second opinion. The Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network not only offers but encourages second opinions on cancer, cardiovascular, orthopedic, spine, or neurological next steps. Second opinions often happen virtually and give you peace of mind about all that is humanly possible at an academic health network like ours, including innovative treatment options and clinical trials. Big decisions deserve a second opinion. At the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're here to help you feel good about your decision. Learn more or request an appointment at froedtert.com/second opinion.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Checking it. Checking in on the roads here with Debbie.
All right. We've got a pretty good ride shaping up. Nothing major to slow us down, even through the construction zones. Everything's looking pretty good. Just watch out for some of those patches of heavy fog right through the Zoo Interchange and points north on 41. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
WTMJ 5-day forecast, some dense fog this morning. Otherwise, we'll have some sunshine, which will continue throughout this afternoon. Highs in the low 60s by the lake, near 70 degrees inland. Tonight, mostly clear. We fall into the mid-40s. Tomorrow, more sunshine, upper 60s by Lake Michigan, mid-70s inland. More sun on Thursday. Highs near 70 by Lake Michigan, near 80 degrees inland. Showers return on Friday. Highs in the mid-60s by the lake and mid-70s inland. A few more showers Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Marissa Walls with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temp at 50 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Talking earlier in the show about the paranoia game. That's generally high school kids, and they're out there shooting each other with squirt guns or Nerf guns or whatever. But an old standby is the ding-dong ditch.
Did you ever do the ding-dong ditch?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just on strangers' houses? Or?
Yeah, but like in the neighborhood. Like we didn't travel to somebody else's neighborhood. Probably most of them knew who we were.
Man, were you the guy that ordered Domino's to other people's houses
No.
too?
I don't think so.
That one I think I did at least once. That's mean.
Ordered pizza delivery at somebody else's house.
That's mean.
Nice.
Anyway, so the ding-dong ditch thing. Here's a hint, though, and a suggestion from me to you. If anyone ever ding-dong ditches your house,
okay,
don't respond by taking the child.
What?
In Waukesha.
No, local?
Yes.
What?
The Freeman has a story. 62-year-old man arrested for putting a teenage boy in his car after becoming upset over a group of kids playing ding-dong ditch. So he was frustrated with these kids. They were running around ding-donging people. So he took the teenager. They didn't know each other, put him in his vehicle. He was like 12 or 13 years old. And they drove off. They were later found in a Woodman's parking lot where the boy was reunited with his friends and parents, that according to Waukesha PD.
Oof.
What happened to the guy who did it?
Well, he was arrested.
Arrested, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So the investigation revealed 4 boys, 12 and 13, ding-dong ditching people in a subdivision. Guy got upset about it, threatened the kids, placed one of them in his car. Placed in his car. And he was going to take him to the police station or to his parents. He ended up at this Woodman's, reunited there. He was arrested, police recommending disorderly conduct charges. I love the statement from Captain Bauman. Big fan of Captain Bauman. He's a good one.
Kind of tells it like it is, doesn't he?
As innocent as this story may be, he says, childhood pranks can get out of hand and escalate rapidly. Equally, if not more important, adults, please take a second and think the desirability of what you are about to do.
I should take this kid.
Before you grab said kid and put in vehicle, take a beat.
I'll give
Consider
him this.
things.
13's a bit old to be playing ding dong ditch.
That's
And again,
true. You're
we
right.
don't live in the 1980s anymore.
You're right.
I know.
Different world we live in now.
But
this
you can't
was an
snatch
avoidable
kids.
incident. No, he can't do that. And take him to the police station.
Or the Woodmans. Or wherever
For that
else
matter.
things want to end up. 6:14 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
This report sponsored by Evans Transportation Services, one company for accounting, shipping, and tracking.
At Evans Transportation, they love the sound of Milwaukee baseball. Bats cracking, crowds cheering, brats grilling. And Evans is a big fan of manufacturing runs, both on the diamond and in supply chain management. When manufacturers have accounting, shipping, and tracking needs, they come to Evans. Because just like in baseball, teams who know how to manufacture runs have the best chance of long-term success. Good luck to the Brew Crew from Evans and Delafield. Find them at evanstrans.com.
Blaine's Farm and Fleet is your one-stop shop for all your seasonal supplies. Like Balin 12-foot gray horse utility corral panels. Now buy two, get one free. And save 15% on heavy-duty rail gates. Stock up on JT8 Super Heavy Duty Diesel Oil. A 5-gallon pail, just $79.99 after $20 mail-in rebate. And take 10% off all Blazer trail lighting. Rewards members take 15%.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. There are over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at accunet.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
It has been an up and down start for Brewers rookie Joey Wiemer at the plate. He has shown more flashes with his glove than his bat, but that script was flipped on Monday night back in Milwaukee against the Dodgers.
The pitch, swinging a drive to left and deep. Get up! Get out of here! Gone for Joey Wiemer! That was contact there. Tried to shoot the inside corner on Joey Wiemer, and he hit a 3-run bullet out of here.
Bob Uecker on the call there as Wiemer belted in his third career homer. And after losing 6 in a row, the Brewers are now winners of 2 straight after taking care of the Dodgers Monday night at American Family Field. This one by a final score of 9-3.
Winning feels good. Losing really sucks. So just it's nice to, get back on the horse. We were scuffing a little bit, putting that in the rearview mirror and just going out and playing the game every day.
Freddie Peralta got the start for the Crew, and he was once again, as he has been all season, magnificent, going 6 strong innings, allowing only 1 earned run on his way to his 4th win of the season, helping the Brewers secure win number 20. They are currently 20-15 in the standings. Milwaukee is right back at it tonight against L.A. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ at 6:05. Eric Lauer expected to be on the mound for the Brewer Crew tonight. Over to the NBA, where the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers both take a commanding 3-1 lead in their respective series. The Heat take care of the Knicks 109-101 in Miami, and the Lakers use a strong second half to take down the Warriors in L.A. 104-101. Round 2 of the playoffs continues tonight with Philly and Boston tipping off at 6:30. That series is tied at 2 games apiece, followed by Phoenix and Denver at 9 p.m. That series also tied at 2 games apiece. Coming up,
We're sending you back to the future.
what we're learning from Back to the Future 2 to educate us on the abortion debate playing out in Wisconsin court. That's next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There are heroes among us who run toward danger rather than away from it. We call them first responders. This is Steve Scafidi. WTMJ is partnering with Educators Credit Union to honor police officers, firefighters, and countless others who work every day to protect our families and loved ones. Do you have a first responder you would like to nominate? Go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner, and share your story. We'll bring you the incredible stories during Salute to Service month in May.
Steve Scafidi's Salute to Service with Educators Credit Union. Details now at WTMJ.com.
WTMJ's Vince Vetrano here for LAK Group. Eric, what's the toughest thing for a manager? Somebody who manages people.
Oh, that's an easy answer. Terminating people.
Letting people
especially
go, right?
good people.
Unless you're just not very nice and you enjoy it. And there are a few of those.
There
out there.
probably are a couple
Right.
like that.
But for most, that's got to be a difficult part of your job. Let LAK Group help you. Downsizing, unfortunate reality for the corporate world, but there is a right way and a wrong way to go about it, and LAK Group can help. They'll act as your company's partner during outplacement and help turn what is an unfortunate time for employees into one of opportunity. They'll help people who are affected find a new path and offer valuable guidance. You can turn an end into the beginning. Discover how LAK Group can help you with outplacement services at transformingcareers.com. LAK Group, discover your human advantage.
It's time to upgrade that old patio furniture with By the Yard maintenance-free outdoor furniture. By the Yard furniture features no painting, no rotting, no splinters, no storage ever. With over 400 items in 9 UV stabilized colors, By the Yard is proudly made in the Midwest and backed by a 35-year warranty. Explore By the Yard's outdoor furniture collection at their showroom location in Mayfair Mall, Wauwatosa, or visit bytheyard.net. That's bytheyard.net.
Old National Bank is asking businesses to get old. But first, they have questions.
Who runs my business if I get old?
You do. You can get old and remain young.
Is that possible?
With a commercial bank as good as Old National, yes.
What will it feel like to get old?
Well, business owners describe a feeling of euphoria, having local decision-making and committed relationship bankers.
Okay, one old guy coming up.
Introducing Old National Bank, where business relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
Get a check on the roads here at 6:20 with Debbie Lonzica.
All right. Well, we're actually looking pretty good, even though we do have some fog in the area, especially in Waukesha County, too. So just be extra careful out there. But for the most part, volume's relatively light. We don't really have any incidents up on the board, so all is well so far. And you could be our eyes on the roads if you happen to see any accidents, slowdowns, or road conditions that we might need to have reported. Give us a call on the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line. That's 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Indeed, dense fog advisory now extended to Waukesha County until 10 o'clock this morning, also in effect for our lakeshore counties as well as Fond du Lac.
What was
until 10
that?
o'clock.
Was it, that was a
That's
foghorn?
the sad
That was a foghorn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I recognized it.
There it is.
I don't even need the drop. I could just do it.
Till 10.
That patchy fog will eventually give way to mostly sunny skies today with a high of 63 at the lake, 70 inland tonight, mostly clear to low down to 45, and then a couple of sunny days Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures in the mid-60s to low 70s if you're near the lake. 75 the inland high on Wednesday. Could be 80 inland on Thursday. Right now at 50 in Milwaukee. Follow me on this, E. Okay, I'm gonna bring you on a winding path to my point here. Still waiting this morning on a ruling out of Dane County Circuit Court in a case that was argued before the court last week. It's the lawsuit seeking to define what is the law on abortion right now in Wisconsin. And how is Wisconsin's debate on abortion in the courts related to Back to the Future? Specifically, Back to the Future 2.
We're sending you back to the future.
I like a good analogy. You don't even necessarily have to have seen the film. Just follow me on this, and we'll get into it. I like how analogies can help us understand things, and I think I got a good one here. The lawsuit playing out right now, and ultimately, barring the unforeseen, later this year when it gets to the Wisconsin State Supreme Court over abortion, is like one of the major themes in Back to the Future 2, or really any time travel movie. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul is suing in Dane County Circuit Court right now. Abortion has long since been legal in the state of Wisconsin until it suddenly wasn't following the overturning of Roe v. Wade that happened last summer. Wisconsin, following that decision to overturn the 1973 ruling, reverted back to the law that was on the books prior. So this is the 1849 law that we've been talking about.
Right.
Basically makes abortion illegal, but for when necessary to protect the life of the mother. And abortion advocates have said that, A, that makes it unclear for doctors. They've sought, how can that be better defined? Also, obviously, they would like expanded access to abortion. And that debate continues to play out. AG Kaul is suing in a case that is expected to go before the state Supreme Court because whoever loses in Dane County
will appeal.
Yes, will appeal. And then that case may go to the appellate court or some, including our own Jeff Wagner. I talked to Jeff about this. He believes that the high court may just step in at that point and say, don't waste your time. We know this is ending up in here. Let's get it over here and won't necessarily wait for a ruling from the appellate court. But that's how the case is going to end up there regardless. The lawsuit is not really, and this is an important point, it's not about whether the law should or should not make abortion legal. That's an argument for legislators. The lawsuit isn't even about whether a specific law on the books is constitutional.
We filed suit close to a year ago now, arguing that the 1849 ban is unenforceable in the state of Wisconsin. We've raised a few different legal arguments.
And that's Attorney General Josh Kaul last week. One of the legal arguments of which he speaks questions which laws ought to be governing us right now.
We've also argued that laws that were passed subsequent to Roe v. Wade fundamentally conflict with the 1849 ban. Both individual laws conflict, and that the category of laws that regulate lawful abortion in Wisconsin conflict with that statute.
So he's outlining there one of the legal arguments in the suit. He and supporters are arguing that when Roe versus Wade was overturned, we shouldn't have returned back to the day before that initial ruling in 1973. That subsequent laws, and here's the great irony, those laws were passed over the years post Roe v. Wade to limit access to abortion. Kaul and supporters are arguing that actually it now protects access to abortion.
Obviously, the time continuum has been disrupted, creating this new temporal event sequence resulting in this alternate reality. English, Doc.
Okay, so remember in Back to the Future 2, the argument comes in the movie. Old Biff Tannen goes back in the past, gives young Biff Tannen the sports almanac. Biff uses that to make himself rich and thus alters the future of Hill Valley where they all live. Marty and Doc go back to what they think is 1985, only it looks nothing like...
totally different.
Right. Biff Tannen's in charge.
Yep.
Downtown is ruined, all of that stuff. They
His
go back to
mother
the
is married
past.
to Biff.
Right.
It's awful.
It's not the past they remember. They've gone back to a new, alternate reality.
Prior to this point in time, somewhere in the past, the timeline skewed into this tangent, creating an alternate 1985.
So that's the argument of Josh Kaul in a nutshell, that the Roe v. Wade ruling created a new timeline in which we all live now, where laws were enacted that codify legal abortion in Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin was at 20 weeks.
Okay.
And regardless, here and there, a number of other stipulations on that. But abortion was legal in Wisconsin until Roe v. Wade was overturned. Kaul is saying that's the timeline we're still on because Roe v. Wade forever changed that. It sent us into a different timeline. The defense is saying no. The Roe versus Wade reversal actually returns us to the original timeline as if that decision had never happened in 1973. And therefore, that's why the 1849 law stands. I hope they've all seen the movie.
Back to the future. Back to the future. Back to the future. Back to the future. Back to the future.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. The Dow Jones Industrial Average down about 56 points to 33,617. The Nasdaq closed at 12,257. That was up 22 points in the S&P 500 at 4138, up just a couple of points in trading on Monday. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Get help now. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click on the Get Started button today.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis. I'm Weston. What's your question?
You're not going to jump out and surprise me, are you?
What do you mean?
When you say Hasslis Mattress doesn't have employees, it's not a trick to get me in the showroom just so you can jump out and yell, surprise, right?
No. Our showrooms are 100% employee-free. Try and buy with no pushy sales guy.
So, no surprises?
Our prices are surprisingly low. Since we have no showroom employees, we offer Beautyrest and Sealy Posturepedic mattresses for way less.
I can't stand the suspense.
Our 35 beds from the top 5 brands start at $393.
Too surprising.
Well, get ready for this. Through Monday, purchase a new Sealy Posturepedic or Beautyrest mattress and get an additional $200 credit just for shopping local.
I'm feeling faint.
Free next day delivery, too. Surprise! Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasslis.com.
There's a race going on inside your body, and sometimes the bad guys, otherwise known as arthritis, get there first. That's when the joint pain kicks in.
Your healing process is just too slow and just can't catch up, and it needs just a little bit of help from QC Kinetics.
That's Dr. Daniel Zuckerman, a QC Kinetics medical director.
We all know that you can heal yourself. If you get a cut, it heals on its own. Your joints are no different. We can take the healing properties from your blood, concentrate them down, and put them in the spot that you need the help. It's amazing. Your body can heal itself.
At QC Kinetics, that's called regenerative medicine. No surgery or steroids, just lasting relief, the natural way.
The fact that we can treat them without surgery, but using their own body's natural healing process, without medications, without steroids, without surgery, it's just amazing.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
We are just before 6:30 on this Tuesday morning. I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, a teacher jailed in Janesville.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The search comes to an end in the UP.
I'm Brandon Snide. Fastball Freddy was fantastic as the Crew notches 2 in a row.
I'm Debbie Laska, and yeah, a bit of pea soup out there. Some of the areas through Waukesha County are pretty thick as far as the fog is concerned, so visibility not great. Volume and incidents, that's looking pretty good. So is the travel time, so you just want to be careful where you're going, but it's looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Laska with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Bad news. Fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
Dense fog advisory in effect for our lakeshore counties, Fond du Lac and Waukesha in there as well until 10 o'clock this morning. Otherwise then becoming mostly sunny today with a high of 70 degrees inland, 63 at the lake, right now at 50 in Milwaukee.
New information coming out about George Alvarez, the man charged in connection with running into several people in Brownsville, Texas, killing 8 of them. ABC's Victor Oquendo's there.
All of the victims were men, nearly all of them Venezuelan migrants, waiting at this bus stop across the street from the Ozerman Center, a shelter for migrants. Alvarez has an extensive criminal record that includes driving while intoxicated. Investigators here are waiting for the latest toxicology report to come back. He's being held on a $3.6 million bond.
Details released Monday about the 8 also killed in Texas at the Outlet Mall shooting. Among those who were killed, sisters, one in 2nd grade, the other in 4th grade. Israeli aircraft conducting strikes on Islamic Jihad targets in the Gaza Strip this morning. Among the 13 killed, 3 senior members of Jihad. Russia's Victory Day parade happening in Moscow, marking the defeat of Nazi Germany in World War II. Russian President Vladimir Putin using the day to claim the war is being waged now against Russia and Ukraine. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:31.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning, a Janesville high school coach is now in jail, charged with 2 felonies after a recording device was found inside the girls' locker room at the school. Investigation led police to 38-year-old Brian Kitzman, school's assistant coach for track and field. Janesville police announcing Monday Kitzman admitted to the crimes.
He admitted he placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
Kitzman due to make his second appearance in court May 17th.
The search for a missing boy from Hurley, Wisconsin in the Upper Peninsula is now over. Nante Nimi got separated from his family during a camping trip over the weekend. ABC's Morgan Norwood.
An 8-year-old missing for 2 days in a Michigan state park has quite the story to tell.
He said he wasn't really scared. He said something about there was a spider crawling over him, but that was it.
Family friend Eli Tosma was among several looking for him.
I heard call and yell, "We found him!" And then I went sprinting as fast as I could over there. And then as soon as he saw me, he was like, "Eli?" And he stuck out his arms, and I gave him a big hug.
Remarkably, Nante is okay, despite having no food or water.
The boy found Monday afternoon under a log about 2 miles from the campsite.
Family of a Fond du Lac woman who was shot and killed over the weekend pleading with the killers to come forward. The victim's sister-in-law telling TMJ4 News she is tired of violence.
I just think the guns have gotten out of control. I think there's too many young kids getting a hold of weapons.
Now, police are looking for 2 teenagers they're calling persons of interest, 17-year-old Antonio Johnston and 14-year-old Paris E. Larry Jr. The victim, Tatiana Zek, was 20 years old.
An update to a story we first told you about Monday on Wisconsin's Morning News. One person now dead after a birthday party in Grafton ended with an overdose. And a woman mauled by her dog. Police responded to a chaotic scene at a home on Falls Road near 17th Street in Grafton early Saturday. 4 friends out celebrating a birthday at a bar came home, used cocaine, which was laced with fentanyl, that led to the overdoses. Officers used Narcan, revived 3, but 1 was not able to come back. That man has died. Police now considering reckless homicide charges to be referred to the dealer.
Did you see the video of this? TMJ4 has got it. This guy flying down the freeway.
Yeah.
On the wrong side of the freeway. He's northbound in the southbound lanes of I-43. Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office said the 78-year-old driver got on the freeway at Fond du Lac on the off-ramp Monday in the middle of the day. Was traveling north in the southbound lanes. He now faces 3 charges, including operating while under the influence and recklessly endangering safety. Guy's 78 years old. No serious injuries reported.
Coming up, all-women space cruise.
Signing Unlimited. WTMJ News Time, 6:34.
If you were offered a guaranteed cash prize, would you take the offer or would you risk it to possibly win more? It's Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells Take It or Leave It, where on May 27th, you could be chosen to play the Take It or Leave It game, where you could be one of several participants to have the opportunity to pick a case containing up to $100,000 in cash. It's the Take It or Leave It game, May 27th at Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin Dells.
See Ho Chunk Gaming representative for more details.
A unique blend of jazz and rock vocal music that has been celebrated by generations. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, performing live Friday, July 7th, 8 p.m. at Ho Chunk Gaming.
You made me so.
Tickets are on sale now through Ticketmaster.
And when I die,
a renaissance of unbridled talent. It's Blood, Sweat, and Tears, July 7th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells.
Must be 21 to attend concert.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to 3 key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Milwaukee attorneys. 111 East Kilbourne Avenue, Suite 1650, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53202. CordellCordell.com.
It's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi for Educators Credit Union. On behalf of all of Educators Credit Union, they would like to express their sincere gratitude to all our public safety professionals. Despite the obstacles you face every day, you continue to make the selfless decision to show up and serve local communities. The care, courage, and commitment it takes does not go unnoticed. Thank you for taking the time away from your family to protect, support, and care for ours. Thank you for all that you do.
At Semper Fi, the path to self-improvement never ends. It feels good to be good. It's been 20 years, and we'll make sure you feel like you made a great decision to have us work on your next exterior remodeling project.
we keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 6:36.
Pitching good, offense good. Good things happen at the American Family Field on the front end of the homestand. Brandon Snide has sports at 6:45.
The debate over the proposed shared revenue plan moving from Madison to Milwaukee.
A majority of county supervisors are in favor of a resolution calling for an increase in shared revenue without the restrictions on Milwaukee in the current bill. District 11 Supervisor Kathleen Vincent.
I think we need a strong message sent to Madison.
Republicans in the legislature say those restrictions are needed to avoid another financial situation like the one the city and county are currently in. A sentiment echoed by District 17's Steve Taylor.
Decades of wasteful spending is why I will not support this.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The resolution opposing restrictions, as well as one that opposes using county taxes on renovations to American Family Field, both were approved on Monday.
It's National Travel and Tourism Week. Visit Milwaukee President and CEO Peggy Williams-Smith telling Wisconsin's Afternoon News they're using new ways to promote the city of Milwaukee.
Traditional advertising and marketing isn't what it used to be. You spend a lot of time scrolling through Instagram Reels or Instagram deciding where you're going to take your next trip. So if you're not there, it's like you're invisible. So our team has done a great job.
And not abandoning traditional advertising. However, with Williams-Smith saying they did see a bump in online traffic from Visit Milwaukee's Times Square billboards back in December.
The future of space exploration could include all-women astronaut crews. Why? Because a new report says it might be more efficient that way.
and liftoff of Artemis
As
1.
humans prepare for another trip around the moon or even to travel to Mars, a new study suggests that women astronauts might be a much better option than men for long stints in space. A new study published in Scientific Reports finds that female astronauts need less water and less oxygen than their male counterparts, and on average, they're smaller than men, meaning they use up less energy and get around easier in tighter spaces. In other words, the study finds, quote, the female form is the most efficient body type for space exploration. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
All right, Debbie, we're sending you to space.
Not fair.
I don't think that'd be a good idea.
Okay, she's
I used
out
to
then.
want to when I was younger, but now I'm not spring chicken anymore, so.
Okay, well, she's out. We're back
I'm
in.
out. Sorry.
6:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Traffic is brought to you by James Imaging Systems, your local document imaging partner. Visit jamesimaging.com.
RJ Schenner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems. Better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. I mean, they'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems. Reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living.
Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at our May 10th open house. To RSVP or to schedule a tour, visit harwoodplace.org.
20 minutes before 7 o'clock, checking in with Debbie here on the traffic.
All right, no incidents still up on the board, and travel times are looking pretty good. However, we do have that fog hanging around, so that's going to make things a little bit interesting, especially in Waukesha County, so you do want to be extra careful with that. But right now, other than that, we're looking pretty good. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some dense fog this morning, otherwise mostly sunny skies as we head through the rest of today. Highs in the low 60s by Lake Michigan, near 70 degrees inland. Tonight mostly clear, we fall to 45. Tomorrow mostly sunny, up to 68 by Lake Michigan and 75 inland. As you get into Thursday, more sunshine, near 70 by Lake Michigan, near 80 degrees inland. Friday, rain showers return, highs in the mid-60s by Lake Michigan, mid-70s inland. And on Saturday, a few more showers, highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Mirza Wallison with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Temperature in Milwaukee now 50 degrees. Just about 6:42 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Coming up at about 10 to 7, we're going to have Lori Nickel from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel in studio.
There you go.
So that'll be nice. We're going to talk to her about Giannis, about the future of the Milwaukee Bucks, and also look ahead to Mother's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got all of that going for you at 10 minutes before 7 o'clock. And then coming up at 7 o'clock, I'm super excited about this. If you've been listening to our show for a long time, you know we focused a lot on the new Milwaukee Public Museum. There's another reveal set to take place today.
All right. What do we got?
This is going to be one of these new permanent galleries, and this one is called Living in a Dynamic World. It's the fourth of the 5 permanent galleries that will be part of the new museum space in 2026 when it opens just north of Fiserv Forum. And there's a news conference. They've been sort of dribbling these out. Every few weeks we get another gallery revealed. The last time around was the one that's going to have sort of the throwback to the streets of old Milwaukee. Number of things that people are very concerned about in the new museum. What sort of traditions will be upheld? What sort of things that I've enjoyed will be part of the new space? I can tell you this next announcement has one of those things in it. Something that people have talked about before that they would like to see in the new museum. There's a carryover on that I can tell you, but I can't tell you more until 7 o'clock.
Okay.
So that's my tease. 7 o'clock, we'll get you more information about Living in a Dynamic World, the fourth of 5 permanent galleries to open in the new museum. And then coming up at 7:20, we'll really dive into a lot more of the particulars, and we'll give you an opportunity as well to view sketches of the new space. The news conference is at 9:30, Eric, but I'll have it for you at 7 o'clock right here on Wisconsin's Morning News. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here. Type of roofing company I trust, one that would gladly tell me I don't need to replace my roof. Tri-County Contracting offers roof tune-ups that include inspection, replacing missing shingles, new rubber collars, new caulking, and more. Affordable? Yes. $650, all homes, all sizes, period. Trust Tri-County Contracting's roof tune-up. Trust 45 years in Wisconsin. Trust your roof will once again protect you and the ones you love.
St. Vincent de Paul Milwaukee seeks a hands-on facility manager to maintain our thrift store and meal program buildings, grounds, and equipment. In this full-time position with benefits, you'll oversee all facility contracted services and perform light maintenance and repairs to buildings and equipment. Technical training in basic electricity, plumbing, carpentry, and/or mechanical is required, and a degree is a plus. Go to svdpmilw.org to learn more and apply. Good luck.
You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Now open in New Berlin.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Behind home runs from Willie Adames and Joey Wiemer, the Brewers win their second game in a row after defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers. This one by a final score of 9-3 for win number 20 on the season. Milwaukee is right back at it tonight against L.A. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ at 6:05. Eric Lauer is expected to get the start.
It's time for Extra Points, a sports opinion commentary on Wisconsin's morning news. Here's Brendan Snide.
The Green Bay Packers are currently amid the changing of the guard at quarterback ahead of 2023. Like most things associated with the Packers, there is always some heated debate amongst the fan base on social media. This one is the notion over a rebuild versus a retool. Semantics really over any of them. However, I don't buy the belief that the Packers are rebuilding. Teams that rebuild tear entirely down their roster, and at times their front office. Just take a look at what the Chicago Bears did prior to Ryan Poles. The Packers have not done any of that. They've been intact, same coaching staff, same front office. In fact, they added to their roster, and I get it, a four-time MVP and Super Bowl champion being sent to a new team can be viewed as a sign to many that this team is ready to rebuild and start over, but I just don't buy that's the case in title time. Outside of that trade that sent Rodgers to New York, what other move has Green Bay made this offseason that they wouldn't have made any other offseason? Newsflash, they were never going to pay Allen Lazard over $10 million a year. This team currently as constructed can and will compete this season in a significantly weakened NFC. They have a veteran and proven offensive line, two excellent running backs in A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones, a few all-pros in Kenny Clark, Devondre Campbell, and Keyshawn Nixon, to name a few. A secondary that's considered young, but still veterans that have been proven to be good. Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes, and Rasul Douglas, again, to name a few. The Packers going younger just means something other than a rebuild. It's a simple transition. You're changing your quarterback and not tearing down the roster. Whether or not this means wins or losses is obviously yet to be determined. But going off of what a rebuild is, what teams have done to rebuild, the Packers are currently doing something other than that. Look, at the end of this, we can debate the rebuild or not in Green Bay. Maybe it's a retool. But do me a favor and ask yourself this. If the Green Bay Packers can win the NFC North this season, do you really think they are in a rebuild?
Are you ready to step up to the plate and test your skills? Join Steve every Friday at 10:35 for a rousing round of virtual baseball to win awesome prizes.
Oh, baby.
Steve Scaffidi's Virtual Baseball, presented by Siding Unlimited.
This is what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game.
Every Friday at 10:35.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I've talked a lot about the knee surgery that I had, how it's gotten me back in the game. Folks ask all the time for a recommendation. I sent my mother-in-law there. She got a new hip.
And you love your mother-in-law.
I do. So I wouldn't send her somewhere that I didn't feel confident in. How's it going? I did check in with her recently. I'll see her again around Mother's Day. But she said, okay, you know, she's kind of on the path to recovery. She, my wife, and my sister-in-law went out the other night, and it wasn't an early night. Let me just
Oh,
tell you
good.
that. So she is
Excellent.
up and moving around, only a couple of weeks outside of having her hip replaced. I send my friends and loved ones to Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. I send you there as well for what ails you. Tell them Vinny sent you. I recommend meeting their doctors. You can visit them at orthowisconsin.com today.
If you're feeling vibrations in your steering wheel after reaching speeds of over 50 miles per hour, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your brakes are making weird noises or feel strange every time you apply them, you should bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
If your engine light is on, you should bring it to Richlands.
And let us fix it for you, because there isn't an auto service repair job on the planet that our service techs can't fix.
Courtney's right. Just check out some of our Google reviews. A whole lot of stars means a whole lot of happy customers.
Proof's in the pudding. So whether you need factory scheduled maintenance
or tires, brakes, and suspension service, we've got your back.
5 conveniently located facilities, all AAA approved,
And all staffed by ASE certified technicians. I'm Brett Matchke, and the next time you're due for service,
bring it into Richlands and let us fix it for you.
Richlands Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richlands.
Announcing Sendik's Bragin' Burger Battle. Submit your burger recipe on Sendix.com for a chance at a $500 Sendix gift card and have your burger sold at Sendix for Father's Day.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
About 10 minutes before 7 o'clock, traffic sponsored by Sendix Food Market, your trusted local grocer since 1926. What's happening, Debbie?
Well, it's starting to tighten up a little bit on westbound 94 heading through the stadium interchange, so we're seeing a few brake lights through there. Otherwise, volume definitely is picking up if you can see it because of the fog. It's going to be pretty thick, so you do want to be extra careful, especially through Waukesha County. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's 5-day forecast is sponsored by Dave Dre Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. That's the foghorn. Indeed, we've got our Lakeshore counties in a dense fog advisory until 10 o'clock. Fond du Lac and Waukesha County in that as well. This patchy fog ultimately gives way to mostly sunny skies. High of 70 degrees inland, a little bit cooler near the lake. Mostly clear tonight, low down to 45. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, 75 your inland high, cooler near the lake. Cooler near the lake again on Thursday with a high of 80 degrees inland under mostly sunny skies. And Friday, showers return, high of 65 at the lake, 76 inland. Right now, we're at 50 degrees in Milwaukee. .651 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So we saw how this worked in Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers wanting a voice in the decision-making, worried he wasn't consulted on free agents and such, and it raised all kinds of questions over who's driving the bus there in Green Bay. Nobody seems to mind, and it's pretty obvious Giannis Antetokounmpo has that kind of pull in the Milwaukee Bucks organization, and so we bring in two-time Sports Writer of the Year, Lori Nickel, in studio with us today. Great to see you, Lori.
Great to see you.
Oh, go ahead.
First time I'm seeing you in person, I think, ever.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's great.
It's really good.
Everything I dreamed of, yes.
Hey, so what about my point then? I mean, Giannis definitely has some influence. If we talk about Coach Bud being let go recently, nobody believes that happens without, at the very least, Giannis's blessing. You have to think he has a say in who they're going to bring in next.
Right.
So I don't know, and I'm kind of like, with him, I'm like, yeah, well, he should. He's the superstar. But with Aaron Rodgers, I was like, who does he think he is?
Now, why do you think that, though?
I don't
Is
know.
it because
he's smug.
Because I like
Giannis is
personality,
charming,
right?
yeah.
And who abuse it. But also, that happened with Brett Favre, too. It seems to happen when you get older and you see the clock ticking and the window closing, that you get a little bit more picky about who you want running your whole career, and especially in a team sport. But I don't think everybody gives Giannis that pass as you do, and a lot of Milwaukeeans do, and Bucks fans, because Bucks fans adore him and know the personality, don't think he would abuse that kind of power. Wouldn't call him the next LeBron James to abuse that power. But I do think there has to be some checks and balances, certainly within that organization. But you got to remember, Giannis and his brothers played basketball with the GM, John Horst. I mean, when you have that kind of relationship, the boundaries, the professional boundaries that keep us keep things safe and easier, those are gone. Those have long been gone now. So Giannis, we all expect that he has some kind of say. Whether he admits how much of a say is a different story.
I keep wondering whether or not they'll shock the world. Is there any possibility that a woman could be the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks?
Sure. There's definitely a possibility. I mean, we know Becky Hammon was brought in as a serious candidate, and we know that there are 16 NBA assistant coaches. There have been who are women, never with the Bucks. We know that there's 8 full-time NBA female officials. We know that there's a handful of women in the front office in the NBA, whether it's president or general manager or some important front office position. I do think that it's possible. You know, it's a great time for me to think of that. I'll tell you, in my era, like the worst sexual harassment case I have, a story of my life, is from the Bucks locker room a long time ago. And now I look at the Milwaukee Bucks, and I don't think there's a single guy in that locker room who would have a hard time or any problem at all working with a female head coach. They already work with women in the training staff, nutrition staff, medical staff. Giannis has pointed out many times how much he likes working with Suki Hobson, the strength coach, who he says is very detail-oriented. So the fact that in my lifetime we've made that kind of progress, I think you could see it. Now, whether or not it happens, I don't know, but I think it's something that could possibly happen. If not this year, maybe sometime in the next 5 years or 10.
Whether it be the NBA, the NFL, sports in general, baseball as well. I mean, what folks sometimes don't know, though, Lori, is that I think anyone could argue that on the X's and O's, any woman coach is equal, if not better than any male coach, right? But so much more is a part of that quote-unquote head coach job. They influence everything. Is there anything outside of the X's and O's fabric that could give someone pause of like this? You know, it hasn't happened yet, and how come?
Right. Somebody has to take the lead, right? It depends, though. You know, this is still a player league, except for somebody like Greg Popovich, who you know is like has such a strong presence. He's also one of the biggest advocates out there for hiring women. He's had several female coaches. I do think Giannis is still the face of this franchise and organization, and Chris Middleton too. If he's back, he's a big part of that too. There are other things, but Mike Budenholzer wasn't the first person you thought of when you thought of with the Milwaukee Bucks in terms of his quote-worthy, you know, giving you insight to the game. He's not an Eric Spoelstra. He's not a Nick Nurse type person. So it really, and even John Horst is behind the scenes at the GM. So that whoever's the head coach doesn't have to be that face or that PR presence if they don't want to be. If they want to stick to X's and O's, they'd be okay. Giannis can handle the charming part.
Lori Nickel is with us from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Mother's Day coming up this weekend. I hope that's not news to anyone, because if it is, then, this weekend? Right.
Oh, I guarantee it is to some,
It
I'm
is?
sure.
So
Definitely.
then what? What should they do?
So I really feel like you should get the mom in your life a race entry to a run or a race. And I have 3 suggestions for you. There's the Girls on the Run, which is May 21st here in Milwaukee. It supports girls who start running from 3rd grade to 8th grade. It's a nonprofit. Another thing that's no pressure is Ride to the Arts. Ride for the Arts, that's a bike ride over the Hone Bridge. It's not competitive. It's a family-friendly, fun event. Again, another fundraiser.
A lot of accessible distances in that one, too. Like if you don't want to do the 900-mile ride, you can do the short ride.
Right.
They have family ride.
Right, and it's very flexible. Even the starting times are somewhat flexible because moms are busy. And then the third thing I would recommend for those moms out there who are like, I don't want anybody to see me. I'm very nervous. I'm very scared about all of this. I want time to train for it. Do the Bastille Days, Storm to the Bastille,
Yeah, I love that
5K. It's at night, so nobody will see you jiggling and wiggling if that's your concern, like it was mine. That was one of my first races. And it's so much fun. There's 5,000 people. You blend in. All of these are non-pressure things, but these are memories that you're creating for your mom and hopefully the support network around her. So I would take that over like a bouquet of roses any day.
And we can use the term run loosely, too. You don't have to run anything.
You know, I'm the queen of wogging, so walk, jogging. You can walk it. You can do whatever you want. I mean, you're moving. There's no pressure. Honestly, it's just something fun, but it might spark a little bit of a competitive interest to say, oh, I did that. Now I want to do something, see how fast I can go. And that's very cool. That's a healthy outlet.
That's super good advice.
Happy
Lori
Mother's
Nickel.
Day.
Yes,
thank
happy
you.
Mother's Day to you.
To your moms, too.
It is 6:58 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We got the business headlines up next from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Here's Sean Ryan.
A pop-up gardening shop is coming to Bayview from the owners of the Small Pie restaurant. Called Buttercup, the pop-up debuts this weekend and will sell plants and gardening gear. Wisconsin legislators will soon announce a bill to encourage smaller home lot sizes and other policies to decrease the cost of building new homes. A policy announced Monday says when Milwaukee County employees fly for work, they must use Mitchell Airport. Until now, the use of Milwaukee Mitchell Airport was only encouraged for county business. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Brian Wickert back to report even more home buyers paid over the asking price last month, rising to 50% in the 5-county metro area. 3 out of 10 paid $10,000 or more above that list price. The good news is appraised values are generally keeping up with the over-asking offers. Still, the most powerful thing a buyer can do to make their offer the most attractive in a multiple offer situation is to give the seller some appraisal wiggle room. Telling the seller you're willing to pay over the asking price, even if the house appraises lower, sounds scary because most buyers think they have to fill that potential gap with more down payment. But in the vast majority of cases, AccuNet is showing home buyers how they can offer appraisal wiggle room without bringing a nickel more to closing. Appraisal wiggle room is like a good card trick. You need to see it to believe it. So if you're home shopping with a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval, upgrade today to an AccuNet rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Advent founder Dr. Madan Kandula.
If you were formerly breathing properly and we just plugged your nose up, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like it for a few minutes. You're not going to like it for an hour. You wouldn't stand it for a day. If we're talking weeks, you're going to be clawing at the walls to get that thing off. And if we're talking months to years to decades, many of our patients are basically walking around with clothespins on their nose and they don't know any difference. They've never experienced what life is supposed to be like when you breathe properly, and so for them, they feel like it's normal. It should be no surprise that many of the folks that we treat have downstream conditions. So if somebody's nose isn't working properly, if somebody's throat isn't working properly, they're not breathing properly. And when you don't breathe properly, it creates problems for your body.
When you breathe well, you live better. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment today.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Heard at work? Contact Tayback for the payback. Go to taybackattorneys.com.
Your locally owned hometown station gives you the news and what it means to you. Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
7:01, I'm Vince Vitrano. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. It's Tuesday, May 9th. Our top story, another major museum reveal.
I'm Eric Bilstead. The search in the UP comes to a successful end.
I'm Brandon Snide. The Brewers bring the bats out to welcome the Dodgers to Milwaukee.
I'm Debbie Lozica. Things are a little bit thick out there, and by thick I mean fog. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see, especially through Waukesha County, so use extra caution. By way of volume on the roads, not too bad. Seeing a little bit of a backup on westbound 94 through the Stadium interchange. Also a little bit slow on northbound 41 right around Watertown Plank Road. I'm Debbie Lozica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Patchy fog will give way to mostly sunny skies today. 70 degrees inland, cooler near the lake, mostly clear with a low down to 45 tonight. Right now we're at 50 in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, new information due out today about another permanent gallery at the future Milwaukee Public Museum. The announcement will be later this morning, but WTMJ has learned the gallery will feature a familiar and popular carryover.
There will definitely be a snake button, and we're thinking at least one of them are located here.
This snake button will be featured in the space called Living in a Dynamic World. It's the fourth of 5 permanent galleries to be unveiled as the museum looks to open its new building in 2026.
Just as we've taken you on a tour around Wisconsin, we've taken you on a tour around Milwaukee, we've taken you back in time, now we want to take you on a world tour.
That's Helen Diviak from Think Design. The gallery will also include 2 large displays for rotating artifacts for the museum's 4 million piece collection. Now, WTMJ has obtained an early look at the sketches for the new space. You can text the word museum to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620 to have a look for yourself. And we've got more information on what else is in the new exhibit coming up at 7:20 this morning.
A coach at Janesville High School now in custody after a recording device, a camera, was found inside a girls' locker room. Finn Eskin live in the WTMJ Breaking News Center with more details.
Eric, an investigation led police to 38-year-old Brian Kitzman, the school's assistant coach for track and field and cross-country teams. Janesville PD announcing Monday that Kitzman allegedly admitted to his crimes.
He admitted he placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
According to the criminal complaint, Kitzman had a door that connected to the girls' locker room and would film students through a hole in that door, as well as through a locker in the girls' locker room. Kitzman will make his second appearance in court on May 17th. Live in the Breaking News Center, Finn Askin, WTMJ News.
The 2-day search for a missing 8-year-old boy in the Upper Peninsula is over. ABC's Morgan Norwood.
Nante Nimi was on a camping trip with his family when he got lost collecting firewood Saturday, setting off a frantic search in the woods of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. He was found Monday afternoon, sheltering under a log about 2 miles from the campsite. His school was ecstatic he was found alive.
It was like being at a big football game with a winning touchdown being scored. The entire school lit up in cheers.
More than 150 people joined that search for Nante.
And Nante was from Hurley, or is from Hurley, Wisconsin.
Coming up, celebrating one of opera's first and most popular black stars.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:05.
I want to talk about annuities and variable life insurance policies. And I'm going to come right out and say that I've never been a fan of either. In fact, in over 30 years, I have rarely recommended annuities to clients. And in that same time, I've never recommended a variable life insurance policy. Now, it's always a matter of opinion, and there are 2 sides to every story. I just want to make sure that you've heard both sides for both options. So if you're looking at those types of products, give us a call, because it's prudent to hear all sides. At the very least, we can give you the pros and cons and help you make a good decision. I'm Jim Cantrell with Financial Strategies, Inc., a fee-only, comprehensive financial planning firm, and I believe we can show you a wiser way to build your wealth. So go to financialstrategiesinc.com and schedule a no-cost consultation. Financial strategies, a wiser way to build your wealth.
This is WTMJ's Jeff Wagner here to tell you about Built Right Furniture's 5th generation mattress sale that ends Saturday. Shop the most unique selection with over 60 models and 500 mattresses in stock. Look, Built Right always saves you money. Don't make a mistake by ordering online or from an employee-free store. With Built Right's legitimate sale prices, you will get an exceptional value and a great night's sleep. Built Right does the research for you, and their team will take the time to help fit you. Built Right specializes in flippable 2-sided mattresses and heavy-duty mattresses that hold up to 600 pounds. Plus, they offer free delivery on mattress-only purchases of $5.99 or more, and they'll remove your old mattress too. Select model sets include a free mattress pad or heavy-duty bed frame. Voted best place to shop and winner of the Home Furnishings Association 2023 National Retailer of the Year. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. For personalized shopping, call to book an appointment. Sunday they're closed to be with family. When you get there, tell them WTMJ's Jeff Wagner sent you to locally and family-owned Built Right, 5430 West Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
There are over 10,000 reasons why steel is not sold at Lowe's or the Home Depot. There are over 10,000 authorized local steel dealers. Find yours at steelusa.com. Lowe's and the Home Depot are trademarks of their respective companies.
Seriously injured? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:07.
Brewers start off the homestand in a big way. Brandon Snide has sports coming up at 7:15.
Following St. Croix Sheriff's Deputy Katie Lysing's death over the weekend in northwestern Wisconsin, 2023 now the most deadly year for Wisconsin law enforcement in more than 20.
Executive Director of the Wisconsin Professional Police Association, Jim Palmer, tells WTMJ there's a larger pattern at play.
We've seen a serious willingness to resist officers and assault officers in particular.
Wisconsin is facing a major staffing shortage in law enforcement, with the fewest officers employed since 2008. Palmer says it's not going to be easy to change that.
This tragedy and tragedies like it are only going to, further impair the ability of law enforcement agencies throughout the state to recruit.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
For another week in a row, gas prices down, as we hear from ABC's Alex Stone.
What's bad for the economy is good for those of us who commute and have to fill up. Recession fears and oil market volatility, plus a lull in demand before summer travel, all have gas prices down for the third week in a row. The Energy Department reports the average price of regular unleaded went down 7 more cents in the past week, and Americans are paying 80 cents per gallon less than a year ago at this time. The Gulf Coast is down 10 cents in the past week to $3.04 a gallon. Alex Stone, ABC News.
One of opera's first and most popular black stars has passed away.
Grace Bumbry's vast vocal range and stage presence helped her break out internationally at the age of 23 when she sang Amneris in Verdi's Aida at the Paris Opera in 1960. A year later, Bumbry was christened the Black Venus by German opera fans after starring in Wagner's Tannhäuser at the famed Bayreuth Festival. She went on to perform at the White House and Carnegie Hall, becoming one of the leading mezzo-sopranos of her generation. New York's Metropolitan Opera says Grace Bumbry died in Vienna at the age of 86.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 7:09.
Lane's Farm and Fleet is your one-stop shop for all your seasonal supplies. Like a 115-volt Hobart Handler 140 MIG welder, on sale $649.99. 5-quart jugs of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil in assorted grades, $22.99 after $10 mail-in rebate. And stay safe with auto-darkening welding helmets from KT, available in a variety of patterns, priced at $69.99.
Find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet.
You know you should be saving your hard-earned money in a safe place, but there's a difference between just letting it sit there and watching it grow. With Town Bank's great new rates on savings accounts, you can start earning more than ever before. Make the switch today and get more interest and their award-winning customer service. But act fast, these great new rates won't be here for long. Learn how much your money can grow at townbank.us. Banking products provided by Winters Financial Corp Banks, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
7:10 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Checking in on the traffic with Debbie.
All right, well, we've got a crash now on westbound 94 just past Blue Mound in Waukesha County. It looks like the left lane is blocked with this, too, so just be careful if you're heading through that area in the Gerke's Corners area. It's going to start to tighten up a little bit if you can actually see anything in front of you. Yeah, that fog is really wreaking havoc now, making your commute a little bit more difficult, so you want to get out there earlier rather than later so that you can take it at a good slow, steady pace. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast. Some dense fog this morning, which will eventually clear. Looking at more sunshine today. Highs in the low 60s by the lakefront, near 70 degrees inland. Tonight, mostly clear. We fall to 45. Tomorrow, mostly sunny into the upper 60s by Lake Michigan, mid 70s inland. Thursday, more sunshine near 70 by the lake, near 80 degrees inland. Friday, showers return. Highs will be in the mid 60s by Lake Michigan, mid 70s inland. More showers on Saturday. Highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Marissa Wallace with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temperature is still stuck at 50 degrees.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee, this is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Vitrano.
Big announcement regarding travel out of Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. A game changer.
Oh, it's a big, pretty white plane with red stripes and curtains in the window and wheels, and it looks like a big Tylenol.
There's a news release and everything, Eric, which makes it a big deal.
It does.
Yes. Milwaukee County takes lead in supporting hometown airport. That's the headline of the news release. County announced a new travel policy that requires employees traveling on county business to always fly into and out of Mitchell. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, quote, "This is a logical change. When county employees travel for work, they must use our community's airport. If we all choose MKE over a Chicago airport, we could add dozens of new flights, hundreds of new jobs, and millions of dollars to the Wisconsin economy rather than sending those dollars to Illinois." Point well taken. I think, okay, if I'm being fair to him, it's a leadership issue. He's saying we're setting the example. We hope local companies, if you're a big local company,
will follow our lead.
Yes, that you will choose to fly out of Mitchell, which I imagine most of them probably do anyway for the most part.
How much work are we doing out of state, though, for Milwaukee County?
Well,
are we sending a lot of people out?
Yes, thank you. That was my first question. How many people are traveling outside of the state? How many people are flying around on the Milwaukee County dime on big county business that this moves the needle in any measurable way?
I suppose I bet the sheriff. I know the sheriff's passed. I don't know if Sheriff Ball does it as much yet, but I know that other sheriffs, I suppose, have gone to conventions and whatnot.
Okay, so she gets a convention. A couple others get a convention.
Yeah,
maybe. But is this a large amount? Is the out-of-state travel budget for Milwaukee County going to move the needle at Milwaukee Mitchell? First of all, I hope not. I mean, I guess my first is no, but I guess secondly is if it is, what are we doing over there?
But I'm all for it. I love the Milwaukee airport. I'll go out of MKE as much as possible. But I also like direct flights.
No question. I love our airport as well. I'll actually credit the county. It's one of the things they do best, right? Milwaukee Mitchell is under county oversight. And one of the things we do best, I love to fly in and out of our airport. But I'll raise yet a third point, is if the county is doing this copious amount of traveling out of state, shouldn't they be trying to save as much money as possible? And if you got a cheaper flight by boarding the dollar bus to O'Hare and catching a flight there, shouldn't we be trying to do that? I mean, which way do you want it? But either way is not good. We're traveling so much that we need to save money here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I know it was supposed to be a leadership thing. We hope other local companies will travel out of Mitchell. But still, if there's a spot in the nowhere left to cut county budget, I'd look first at out-of-state travel, no matter where you're flying to.
Can you fly this plane and land it?
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Sports sponsored by Holiday Automotive at Highway 23 in Fond du Lac. Holiday Automotive, it's worth the trip.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Greg Matzik for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Hey, summer is near, and the Memorial Day sale at Holiday is here. Prime time to say yes to enticing offers on Wisconsin favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, or explore the exceptional value and peace of mind of a GM-certified pre-owned model. Make Holiday your destination to get more vehicle for your buck, more for your trade, and enjoy award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State, and I'm one of those fans, and know from my own personal experience, you'll be in excellent hands with Team Holiday on your side. Proud and grateful to be recognized as Buick Dealer of the Year per 2022 Buick Zone sales records. With selection expanding daily, you can choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way. Find yours and discover the difference during the Memorial Day sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Earn points every time you shop with Fleet Rewards. 500 points gets you a $5 reward. It's free and easy to sign up, in-store or online. Sign up today and start saving with Fleet Rewards at Fleet Farm.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
After a rough road trip out west, the Brewers were back at home Monday at American Family Field and got comfy in the 7th inning.
The pitch. High fly ball, deep right field. Back goes Hayward at the track. Gone! Willie Adames with the exclamation point here in the 7th. A 3-run shot, and it is 9-1 Brewers.
Lane Grindle on the call right here on WTMJ as Willie hit number 101 to break the score open. The Brewers used a 6-run 7th inning to break it open, and behind a very strong start from Freddie Peralta, who went 6 strong innings, Milwaukee took care of the Dodgers Monday night by a final score of 9-3.
Yeah, he was excellent tonight. Very good lineup. And, I thought the fastball was just really good tonight. And he did it largely with a fastball tonight. Him pitching the way he has and is, you're looking forward to his start every time because he's delivering.
Milwaukee will look to make it 3 in a row tonight against the Los Angeles Dodgers at American Family Field. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ at 6:05. Eric Lauer is expected to get the start for the Brew Crew. Over the NFL, where the Packers got to look at what their future could be like with the rookie minicamp over the weekend. Matt LaFleur also getting his first look at first-round pick Lucas Van Ness in the green and gold.
Yeah, he's big, he's fast, he's explosive. Again, another young player that I think has his best football will be in front of him. He's got a lot to learn, and you can tell he's got the heart, he's got the drive, and we're going to push him each and every day to try to get him there as fast as humanly possible. But, you know, he's going to be a fun guy to work with.
The NFL schedules will be released on Thursday. Some notable changes coming your way for the schedules this year. If you're a season ticket holder, you might want to pay attention here. A Black Friday game for the first time ever. So a couple games on Thanksgiving, then Black Friday there's going to be a game. All games are up for bidding this year, meaning games do not belong to networks anymore. That means the Packers will not only be on Fox, they could be on CBS and NBC. All those games are up for bidding, and teams can be on Thursday Night Football now, not once, but twice, as we heard earlier here on Wisconsin's Morning News. And finally, not all teams are guaranteed to have a prime time spot.
And they're even talking about monkeying around with that, Brandon. We're late in the season. They might be able to flex games, not just from Sunday afternoon to Sunday night, but to a Thursday.
Right.
That's going to screw things up
Not
big time
good.
for fans. Nope.
The NFL, you're doing such a good job, NFL. Don't get in your way.
Stay out of your own way. We're going to talk about that. It's going to be one of the top things we talk about at 8 o'clock this morning. We'd love some thoughts from you. Coming up next, the snake button will be in the new Milwaukee Public Museum when it opens in 2026. That and additional details revealed next.
No, he's not going to put you in the lineup. But luckily, this is the closest you can get to the skipper himself.
I mean, Robin is the all-time Brewer for sure.
Greg Council, every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Morning News at 7:45.
You know, Willie is, I think a player that, is capable of taking down some of the things that Robin has done.
This is Brewers 360, presented by Holiday Automotive and Outdoor Living Unlimited.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You have some drafts around the house. Is it from room to room an entirely different climate? That means you got problems with your windows and doors. You're going to want to call Gina Della at Pella today and say goodbye to that drafty house with their beautiful new windows and doors. Team at Pella always trying to give you the best quality of service, and they've got everything that you need. They can get things installed in as little as a day once your product comes in. And they've got experts to help you choose the perfect thing for your setting. That's what my wife and I did. We knew we wanted a new patio door. We wanted one that rolled. So we looked at the whole product line, and then they even helped us choose what kind of colors we want. They can match any decor that you're looking for, and everything can be custom prepared to fit your space. And if you've been putting it off, you don't have to wait any longer. Great deal continues right now at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, 0% interest for 48 months. The offer good through May 31st. Certain restrictions do apply. You can check things out in person at the beautiful showroom in Brookfield or visit them online at PellaWI.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Let's get a look at the roads here at 721 with Debbie.
All right, we do have a crash westbound on 94 just past Blue Mound Road, almost at Springdale. The left lane is blocked with this, so everybody has to kind of shift over to the right. Visibility is really bad around that area because of the fog. So we've got big delays coming in from Highway F all the way down through to the accident scene. The westbound side is slowing down just past Calhoun all the way to the accident scene, and those are going to grow. So that's going to be your issue. We've also got a little bit of a backup along 94 eastbound from about 84th Street to about Hawley Road. That's building up in volume as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Storm team forecast from meteorologist Marissa Wallison. We have a dense fog advisory issued by the National Weather Service that goes until 10 o'clock for all of our lakeshore counties, Waukesha and Fond du Lac in that advisory as well. Mostly sunny skies, then after the fog clears with a high of 63 degrees at the lake, 70 inland, and then mostly clear tonight with a low down to 45. We're at 50 right now in Milwaukee. New information due out later today about another one of those permanent galleries that will be part of the future Milwaukee Public Museum. The announcement is due later this morning. But, Eric, WTMJ has learned the gallery will feature a familiar and popular carryover.
There will definitely be a snake button, and we're thinking at least one of them are located here.
The snake button.
Yes.
Whew. Add that to a list of things that folks who love our museum were concerned about when we learned there was going to be a new museum, and they weren't basically picking up the old museum and dropping it in a new building, right? Streets of Old Milwaukee. What about Granny in the streets? What about the dinosaurs?
What about the snake button?
What about the snake button? The snake button, in some form, is going to be making the trip. It'll be featured in the space called Living in a Dynamic World. This will be the fourth of 5 permanent galleries to be unveiled as the museum is opening the new building in 26. So MPM has been, usually a few weeks apart or so, doing one of these reveals where they have video and they have sketches and descriptions of the new galleries. And we're almost through. As I mentioned, this is number 4 of 5 to be unveiled.
Just as we've taken you on a tour around Wisconsin, we've taken you on a tour around Milwaukee, we've taken you back in time, now we want to take you on a world tour.
So that's Helen Diviak. She's from Think Design. That's the company creating the galleries and exhibits in the new museum. You'll hear more as well from Think Design's Arande Wright. Not everybody has this yet. This information was shared with me before the news conference, and a full reveal coming up at 9:30 this morning. So what else can I tell you at this point? More on the snake button in a moment, but you heard Helen mention a world tour. So this is like geography, geology, and sociology all coming together in a series of immersive experiences.
In this world tour, we're looking at a diversity of landscapes, from the Arctic landscapes to deserts to grasslands, and looking at who lives there, what lives there, and how do these landscapes impact how life is lived there, from habits to habitats.
So land, animals, people. How are we all hanging out in these different areas, right? And so they're going to cover the Arctic, islands, grasslands, mountains, and deserts. Deserts is where you will find the beloved snake button. So there's even a sketch that you can look at, and you can text the word museum to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620. That shows like a kid reaching for a button. Looks just like we all know, love, and remember at the museum. So text the word museum to the Old National Bank talk and text line, and we'll show you the sketches and renderings that are available right now.
How are you feeling about it?
I like it. I've liked everything they've put out so far. And another thing in this desert area of the dynamic world will be a permanent exhibit on ancient Egypt.
We really want to focus on ancient burial practices and the ancient Egyptian understanding of the afterlife. Being able to look at the mummies and the sarcophagi and really give the context about, why did that practice come into play? How did the environment lead people to preserve their loved ones in this state?
And this is the area of the museum that will also include 2 what they're calling like flexible exhibit spaces. One of them is 3 stories high, where they can rotate out items from the museum's vast collection. How many artifacts?
It's got to be more than 1,000.
4 million. Now, some of those might be like a little arrowhead, right?
Still a thing, though.
To the
Still
full dinosaur bones or whatever. 4 million artifacts. We never see any of those hardly, right? So they're going to be able to rotate them in and out of these 2 spaces. And it really all comes back to being able to carry over some of the things that we love, like the snake button, but also making the new museum new.
As always, we are looking at ways to bring what is nostalgic and what's powerful and what people remember to the future museum. But we'll also say there's always going to be some surprises.
So you can see what we've got so far. Text the word museum to the Old National Bank talk and text line, museum, to 855-616-1620 to have a look. The next and final big reveal is for the Rainforest Gallery. That will include the butterflies. What about the butterflies? They will include the butterflies. And that one is coming up May 23rd. We'll have the scoop on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There will definitely be a snake button.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average was off about 56 points to 33,617. The NASDAQ closed at 12,257. That was up about 22. And the S&P 500 up a couple to 4138. Investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning from a fee-only fiduciary. Get help now. Visit annexwealth.com and click on the Get Started button today. Let's take a minute of R&R. R&R Insurance, that is. R&R Insurance provides employee benefits to all of us here at Good Karma Brands. Business insurance is getting more complex these days. To share some knowledge about that is Jeff Salasinski, VP of Insurance Operations at R&R Insurance.
Hey, Vince. Today's commercial insurance market demands the sharp focus of your insurance advisor. Thousands of insurance agencies have sold or merged their businesses. The result? Your agent can become consumed with integration issues and adjusting to a new culture, preoccupied with systems and people issues that always come with that level of change. The impact this M&A has in your business can be disruptive, and they lose focus on you, the client.
So, Jeff, what's the solution?
With 48 years of stability, local family ownership, and deep industry knowledge, R&R Insurance will be focused on you, the client, not the progress and payout of an acquisition. And the best part? We're not for sale. At R&R Insurance, we know business insurance.
That's Jeff from R&R Insurance. Thanks for the great info, Jeff.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
So when you're in a pain spiral, will stem cells or bone marrow, harvested from your body and then placed back into your body, get you out of it? For those willing to go through a very expensive and not exactly easy process, which is not FDA approved, it might. But for those not willing to pay exorbitant amounts to go through all that, especially knowing that pain relief is not a sure thing, it's not an option. At Rejuvenex, we inject powerful, FDA-approved treatments that reduce inflammation and pain, while improving mobility in hips, shoulders, elbows, and knees, with some patients experiencing relief for greater than 2 years before repeating the process. I'm Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics, and we are in network with most major insurance plans, including Medicare and Medicaid. We can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life. It's pain relief, really.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Coming up on 7:30, I'm Vince Vitrano. Our top story, familiar and fresh features coming to the new museum.
I'm Eric Bilstead, a Janesville teacher in custody.
I'm Brandon Snide. Fastball Freddy was fantastic as the crew notches 2 in a row.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. It's a tough ride in Waukesha County right now. An accident westbound 94 west of Gerke's Corners. We've got the left lane blocked. Visibility is horrid through there because of the fog, and everybody is trying to move over to the right to get around this, but just be prepared. It's going to be a slow one, and it's already stretching all the way back to Moreland Roads where we're seeing delays. The eastbound side slowing down from Highway 16 to that point. You'll be back on the brakes just past the Zoo interchange heading in towards Hawley Road, and westbound 94 slowing down out of the Marquette through the stadium as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
Patchy fog in your Storm Team forecast, then mostly sunny skies with a high of 70 degrees inland, 63 your high temperature near the lake, mostly clear tonight. Low temperature gets down to 45. We're at 50 right now in Milwaukee. And from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, hey, just heard it here first on Wisconsin's Morning News. New information due out later today about another permanent gallery at the future Milwaukee Public Museum. The announcement set for later this morning, but WTMJ has learned the gallery will feature a familiar and popular carryover.
There will definitely be a snake button, and we're thinking at least one of them are located here.
Snake Button will be featured in the space called Living in a Dynamic World. This is the fourth of 5 permanent galleries to be unveiled as the museum looks to open its new building in 2026.
Just as we've taken you on a tour around Wisconsin, we've taken you on a tour around Milwaukee, we've taken you back in time, now we want to take you on a world tour.
That's Helen Diviak from Think Design. They're building out the space for the museum. The gallery will also include 2 large displays for rotating artifacts from the museum's 4 million piece collection. WTMJ has obtained an early look at the sketches for the new space. You can text the word museum to the Old National Bank talk and text line 855-616-1620 to have a look.
Janesville High School coach now in jail and charged with 2 felonies after a recording device was found inside a girls' locker room. An investigation led police to Brian Kitzman, the school's assistant coach for the track and field teams. Janesville police announcing that Kitzman allegedly admitted to the crimes.
Placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
Kitzman will make his second appearance in court later this month.
A suspected elderly drunk driver struck 2 other drivers while going the wrong way on the freeway for nearly 4 miles. This was I-43 in Milwaukee. According to the sheriff's office, the 78-year-old driver entered the freeway at the Fond du Lac off-ramp. That was Monday, began traveling northbound in the southbound lanes. Driver now facing 3 charges, including operating while under the influence and recklessly endangering safety. No serious injuries were reported.
The family of a woman from Fond du Lac shot and killed over the weekend, pleading with the killers to come forward. The victim's sister-in-law telling TMJ4 News that she's tired of the violence.
I just think the guns have gotten out of control. I think there's too many young kids getting a hold of weapons.
The police are looking for 2 teenage persons of interest, one 17 years old, the other one 14. The victim, Tatiana Zek, was just 20 years old.
Investigators continuing their search for answers and looking into a motive about Saturday's mass shooting at a shopping center in suburban Dallas. Mauricio Garcia used an AR-15 rifle to murder 8 people before he was shot to death by a police officer.
This is Jim Ryan. 2 days after the mass shooting in Allen.
8 ayes, 5 nays, and 0 present not voting, the motion prevails.
A committee of the Texas House voted to raise the minimum age for buying assault-style weapons from 18 to 21. It wouldn't have made a difference in Allen because gunman Mauricio Garcia was 33. And while the measure is unlikely to see a vote in the full Texas House, the families of some mass shooting victims see Monday's vote as a sign of movement in a state that has refused to budge on gun legislation. Jim Ryan, ABC News, Dallas.
Coming up, a record-breaking and life-saving discovery. News is sponsored by Griffin Ford, Griffin Chevy on Metro Auto Mall, and Griffin's Hub Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, Ram.
May is here, and as a Wisconsinite, you know that marks the start of sun, warmth, and joy. So when the rubber meets the road, you better be ready for the changing weather and the adventures that may lie ahead. This is Jim Griffin. Don't worry whether you are a new or existing customer on the north, west, or south side of town. You are as welcome as the flowers in May. We have you covered with the marvelous service specials. We'll change your oil, inspect and rotate your tires, check the battery and air filter, give it a complete multi-point inspection, check your AC or your heat, and even change your wiper blades, all for $129.95. During the month of May, don't let your vehicle's safety and changing weather compromise your adventures. Be ready for the roads. As much confidence and peace of mind as possible when you take advantage of the marvelous service specials good at all 5 Griffin dealerships.
Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's Murphy's Law, right? Put an AC guru from Team Austin up against Murphy's Law, and smart money is on us. Eric Smith here from Austin Plumbing, Heating, and Air. And when we take your air conditioner apart, and just so you know, we will, our guru has the opportunity to see exactly where the problems are, or could develop in the future. It's not a rag snap in safety inspection and get down the road kind of a deal. Nope, we're coming at Murphy with torches blazing. By the time we're done, your AC isn't just reassembled, it's returned to factory fresh conditions and guaranteed against breakdowns all summer long. A machine that'll save energy dollars, not gobble them up. We're going to leave it a better running, more reliable version of itself. And if we find a cause for concern or future breakdown, let me coin a phrase. If we see something, we'll say something. Team Austin is here to help you win the war against summer heat. So back off, Murphy. Book your AC tune-up now and get a jump on the heat. Go to teamaustin.com.
Cut through the clutter with Axiom, the weekly newsletter from Annex Wealth Management. Subscribe today for 7 insights built and delivered to you every Sunday. It'll help you navigate the markets and the things that affect your money. The Axiom. Sign up at annexwealth.com.
Signing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 7:36.
We've got Brewers manager Craig Counsell, our guest on Brewers 360. That's coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Milwaukee leaders debate the state GOP's proposed shared revenue plan.
A majority of county supervisors are in favor of a resolution calling for an increase in shared revenue without the restrictions on Milwaukee in the current bill. District 11 Supervisor Kathleen Vincent.
I think we need a strong message sent to Madison.
Republicans in the legislature say those restrictions are needed to avoid another financial situation like the one the city and county are currently in. A sentiment echoed by District 17's Steve Taylor.
Decades of wasteful spending is why I will not support this.
Wyatt Barmore-Pooley, WTMJ News.
The resolution opposing restrictions as well as one opposing using county taxes on renovations for American Family Field were both approved on Monday.
Big meeting set to take place at the White House later today, with Democrats hoping to sway Republicans to pay the nation's debts and Republicans hoping to convince Democrats to spend less. ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers.
President Biden sits down today with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy and other top congressional leaders, a meeting the White House says he called in order to discuss the urgency of preventing a U.S. default. Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre Monday calling this a manufactured crisis. White House officials say the president will stress Congress must raise the debt limit without conditions, and then he'll discuss the budget and spending cuts.
That's what we hope comes out of this, is that Speaker McCarthy does the right thing, something that he did three times in the last administration.
Karen Travers, ABC News, Washington.
A tiny find that may have saved a life.
A dermatologist in Oregon has found the world's smallest skin cancer spot. Dr. Alexander Witkowski noticed the mole the size of a needle tip under a patient's right eye. Before he could begin lecturing her about wearing sunscreen, he observed the unusual red pigmentation and looked at it through a microscope. That's when he spotted abnormal cells. Further testing confirmed it was melanoma, a dangerous form of skin cancer. The doctor was able to remove it before it spread, and the 0.65 millimeter lesion has made it into Guinness World Records. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Shouldn't have been a terribly invasive surgery. Here, just hold still for a second.
Right.
Right? You're good. 7:39 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
Traffic is sponsored by TABACattorneys.com. Social Security benefits denied? Call TABAC for the payback. Unable to work due to health problems? Let TABAC help you get approved for the Social Security benefits you're entitled to. Call TABAC for the payback. TABACattorneys.com.
Bad news. The fog is getting thicker.
And Leon's getting larger.
Leon is getting larger this morning. Hey, Deb?
Yeah, it is pretty nasty out there. We do have this accident westbound 94. They still have the left lane blocked right just about at Springdale Road. And because of the fog, it's making it a little bit more difficult to see that everybody has moved off to the right-hand side. So I am telling you right now, move over to the right-hand side. By the way, both directions are backed up. We got eastbound backed up all the way back into Highway 16. The westbound side is now backed up all the way to about Sunny Slope. Make that Elm Grove Road. That's where we're seeing some nasty delays there. So give yourself tons of extra time. Now, eastbound 94 through the Zoo interchange is starting to now be slowing down all the way to Hawley Road and then back on the brakes through the stadium. The westbound side slow out of the Marquette through the stadium as well, and westbound 894 heavy out of the Mitchell interchange all the way past 68th. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ 5-day forecast, some dense fog this morning. Otherwise, we'll have some sunshine, which will continue throughout this afternoon. Highs in the low 60s by the lake, near 70 degrees inland. Tonight, mostly clear. We fall into the mid-40s. Tomorrow, more sunshine, upper 60s by Lake Michigan, mid-70s inland. More sun on Thursday, highs near 70 by Lake Michigan, near 80 degrees inland. Showers return on Friday, highs in the mid-60s by the lake and mid-70s inland. A few more showers Saturday with highs in the mid to upper 60s. I'm meteorologist Marissa Walls with the Storm Team forecast on WTMJ.
Milwaukee temperature 50 degrees. .742 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Brewers manager Craig Counsell joins us live next on Brewers 360. He got tossed out of the game Saturday night. He was right. I'll let that play out here for you.
And now Craig is getting fired up at the crew chief, Chris Guccione. And Craig Counsell just got ejected. Again, this all stems from the initial first pitch as Quentin Berry is now arguing and Pat Murphy is coming out and now Connor Dawson, the hitting coach, is coming out. This has been handled so poorly by this umpiring crew.
All kinds of people were out of the dugout, all kinds of umpires talking, conferencing. Counsel's hat was off.
As it should have been.
Which I think is a pro move because you want to be able to get right up
Yes.
in umpire's face.
You don't want that bill getting in the way.
Right. So we'll ask him about that next on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, your destination to gear up for summer travel, score enticing offers, and get more for your trade on a new Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC, or GM certified pre-owned model. I'm confident you'll enjoy their simplified buying approach and award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that makes fans of drivers from all over Wisconsin, and I'm one of them. Find yours and discover the difference at Holiday Automotive, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Smooth waters and clear horizons are ahead. The experienced team of advisors at Fox World Travel are ready to uncover your cruising style. Are you sailing off into a Caribbean sunset, taking in the European charm along riverways? Maybe an exotic expedition or Alaskan cruise are on your bucket list. We'll help you cruise like never before with Princess Cruise Lines, Avalon Waterways, Celebrity Cruises, and more. Visit foxworldtravel.com or call a Fox Cruise expert at 866-GO-FOX-GO.
Lane's Farm and Fleet is your one-stop shop for all your seasonal supplies, like Thoroughbred welding gas and cylinders, now 10% off. Milwaukee 1/4-inch and 3/8-inch drive 106-piece tool set with pack-out, on sale $249.99. And pick up a Performance Tool 26-piece screwdriver set. Comes with color-coded handles and storage rack, just $24.99.
Find value at Lane's Farm and Fleet.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Are you tired of being tired? Go to AdventKnows.com.
Time for an update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Here's Brandon Snide.
Behind home runs from Willie Adames and Joey Weimer, the Brewers win their second game in a row. This one after defeating the Los Angeles Dodgers by a final score of 9-3. Milwaukee is right back at it tonight against LA. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ beginning at 6:05. Eric Lauer is expected to get the start.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Holiday Automotive. Sophia Minert is our guest on Mondays. How much do you think he wants me to ask him about this again on Tuesday?
Less than zero.
A lot? A lot? No?
I think there are plenty of other things that you could talk to him about.
Well, wish me luck because I'm doing it. And Brewers manager Craig Counsell is our guest on this Tuesday morning. Morning, Craig.
Good morning.
Okay, so I want to talk about Saturday night. You getting tossed. The hat was off. You're up in people's grills, and they let you stay out on the field a long time, my friend.
I had something to say, so I was out in the field talking to the umpire.
What I loved about it was, A, you were right. Everybody knew you were right. Did that, do you think, play into the decision for – because sometimes when guys get run, it's like, okay, I've said my piece, and into the dugout you go. But, man, it felt like a long time while that was still getting sorted out.
Well, there was an argument, so we had a disagreement, and I had something to say, and it kept going, and that's how it worked.
So when you get tossed, like, what do? You go check up on email when you go back in? Like, do you use the time to your advantage, or what happens back in there?
No, you're just doing the game still, and you're a little heated, obviously, and then trying to figure it out. But the game's still going on, so you're still locked into the game.
Well, that situation obviously highlighted some problems that we have when we run into these new rules and all that. Does the team then work with the league to say, hey, heads up, we want to make sure we can clarify this so we don't run into an issue again in the future?
No, in this scenario, there's probably still a disagreement there and still a difference of opinion, and a lot of times that's how it probably ends up. So you move on. That's how it has to work, and there's a lot of rules in the game. There's a lot of room for interpretation, and unfortunately, in this situation, we're probably still in disagreement here.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell, our guest here on Brewers 360. Okay, so no one would argue that the front end of the road trip was pretty rough, but you do manage to salvage one in San Francisco before coming home, Craig, and then a nice win against the Dodgers. How important was it, when you go on a little bit of a skid, to get that last win on the road and sort of set the tone for coming home?
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like that. I think it's more just we won a game. We need wins, and so that's the most important thing. I mean, there's no, set the tone, whatever. We just need wins, and we had a rough trip in terms of that. Played a good game on Sunday and got a win. So that's what's most important. The streaks and all that stuff. Nobody likes them. Nobody likes the bad ones. You try to shorten them and win as many games as you can, but that's the most important thing is just rack up wins, no matter how you do it, who you do it against, just rack up wins.
Speaking of wins, Craig, Freddie Peralta has just been a staple in the rotation this year for you. You've dealt with some injuries. Corbin off to a little bit of a slow start, obviously Brandon Woodruff. What can you say about the job Freddie has done to start the season here?
Yeah, he's been awesome for sure. I think that's 7 starts, 6 of the 7 have been absolutely, outstanding. So he's off to a great start in the year. Not surprised, and since the first day of spring training, that's been a locked-in pitcher and a healthy pitcher, and he's taken his game really to another level. I think this is the best that he's thrown the ball in his entire career. So it's fun to see. We got to keep him going and keep him in a healthy place, and if he does, he's going to continue to have a great season.
All right, Craig. So Saturday is Star Wars night at American Family Field. And last week I posed the question to Vince. I asked him who was the most underrated character in the Star Wars franchise. I said it was Admiral Ackbar because he leads the rebellion there at the end in Jedi and gets rid of the Death Star. You said, Vince...
Salacious B. Crumb. That's that clowny, little monkey guy in Jabba's lair.
Which I don't know if it's a very serious answer, but that's the one you gave.
He's totally underrated.
Skip, who is the most underrated character in the Star Wars franchise?
But I have no idea who any of those people are. So I know
me and you
Luke
both, Skip.
Skywalker and Han Solo. That's about it. So that's all I got for you.
Brewers manager Craig Counsell, our guest. The Star Wars night coming up on Saturday. The Luke Skywalker bobblehead is the giveaway. Best of luck here as we face the Dodgers and then Kansas City coming to town this weekend. Thanks, Skip.
All right, you got it.
10 to 8 here on Wisconsin's Morning News. Mark Tauscher is up next.
Nerds! There are heroes among us who run toward danger rather than away from it. We call them first responders. This is Steve Scafidi. WTMJ is partnering with Educators Credit Union to honor police officers, firefighters, and countless others who work every day to protect our families and loved ones. Do you have a first responder you would like to nominate? Go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner, and share your story. We'll bring you the incredible stories during Salute to Service month in May.
Steve Scafidi's Salute to Service with Educators Credit Union. Details now at WTMJ.com.
Jeff Levering and wife Ashley are thrilled with their brand new Pella patio door.
It's like having a brand new kitchen. It's so bright, it's so clear. I can see the kids outside playing, and it makes it comfortable for the life we live, which is an active one.
I love the roll screen. The fact that the screen is on the inside.
For the first time, our whole house actually feels like the same climate.
No drafts. Don't have to have any of those extendo cornhole bags anymore. It's a game changer.
I'm Gina Della from Pella, and if you order today, get 0% interest for up to 48 months. At Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, we strive to always give the best possible quality of service. Our experts provide an in-home consultation where they'll listen to your needs and help choose the perfect products for your home, which can be customized to fit any decor. The installation is completed in as little as a day with no mess and no hassle, leaving nothing but perfect results. Order today and get 0% interest for up to 48 months at PellaWI.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends 5/31/2023.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here for my friends at Kohler Services. Are you ready for a new shower this spring? Well, if you are, Kohler Services is a local end-to-end bath and shower design and remodel service brought to you by Kohler, a family-owned business in Wisconsin for 150 years. Kohler is the only manufacturer offering fast, professional installation and care for life. Start enjoying your bath or shower right now with a special offer. Visit kswisconsin.com to request your free quote and tell them that I sent you. Again, that's kswisconsin.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. Milwaukee Mattress, where top quality mattresses are priced hundreds less than premium national mattress brands. Found exclusively at Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, and downtown Milwaukee.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
7:53. Let's get a look at the roads here with Debbie.
All right, we still have this accident westbound 94 just past Gerke's Corners. The left lane is still blocked with it, so pretty serious accident. Eastbound's going to be just a long, slow plod all the way from Highway 16 all the way to that point. And then on the westbound side, we're seeing delays from Highway 100 to the accident scene. So very difficult ride through Waukesha. We've also got eastbound 94 slowing down from 84th Street through the stadium. The westbound side slow out of the Marquette out past Mitchell Boulevard. And then northbound on 41 slow out of the zoo up past Watertown Plank Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ forecast sponsored by Dave Drake Camp Heating, where your comfort is their family's tradition. It will turn mostly sunny today when we get rid of that patchy fog, and a high of 70 degrees away from the lake. Cooler by Lake Michigan, mostly clear tonight with a low down of 45. And then mostly sunny Wednesday, 75 degrees your inland high, cooler near the lake, 50 right now in Milwaukee.
Idea Man.
I signed up for biomolecular chemistry, like legitimately.
Innovator.
Music was always the class at Wisconsin. If you went into one of those big lecture halls and it was Michael LeCrone's class, you were going to see athletes everywhere.
And Packers Hall of Famer.
I'll say this, I'm still not very musical.
It's time for Tausch on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News, sponsored by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and by Kohler Services. I'm going to start talking about this, and I'm going to take calls on it, Tausch, later this morning. The possibility that the NFL is considering, well, the NFL is considering this possibility that late in the season, games could be flexed, not just from Sunday afternoon to Sunday night, but from a Sunday to a Thursday. And all of a sudden, a surprise a couple of weeks out, maybe more on your schedule. Oh, by the way, the tickets that you have for Sunday's game, they're for Thursday night now.
Yeah, I think the NFL needs to tread very carefully. I understand that Sunday it could be at 3:25 or an 8 o'clock kick. I think that I think all fans can kind of even get their head wrapped around that. You cannot do this from the NFL standpoint. I don't even like the idea because they're already talking about going Sunday to Monday, which is ridiculous because people travel and you set things up. Let's take, for instance, the Las Vegas. Have to go out there, they're going to fly, and then you're going to move it from a Sunday to a Monday. People got to get back to work. You better tread carefully because if you look around, Lambeau is a bubble. It's insulated. It's full every week. Go ahead and look at some of these other teams in December. Look at Washington, who's already dropped, I think, 30,000 seats, put tarps up because they couldn't fill it. You lose out already to TV on almost all of this. Stop kind of urinating on the fans, and by doing this, that's what you're saying is, tough luck, you're going to do what we say. Maybe be a little bit more cautious when you're talking about flex. You cannot flex a Sunday to Thursday. Can't happen.
But as a standard fan who may not be at the game, it's kind of awesome to know that the Thursday night game would be a good one, though, right?
We're going to watch Thursday games anyways. You're telling me if the Packers are playing on a Thursday, you're going to watch it. That's what the NFL is thinking. And when you start looking around, there's a couple teams that are building new stadiums. The Bears used to kind of be the lowest rung with 60 or 65,000 people that would, can sit. You're seeing more and more stadiums getting built smaller and smaller because this is becoming it's always been about TV. the last 25 or 30 years. And if you start doing this, yeah, if you're a great team and your fan base is super loyal, people will plug their nose and go and do it. But you better be careful. And, yes, we will watch on TV, but I do think the value of tickets and things like that are going to drop if you continue to not care what fans are doing.
Tausch, when you're looking at the this week for the NFL, the schedule's coming out on Thursday. As a former player, number one, do you guys care what the schedule looks like? Number two, if you do care, what are you looking for? Maybe a road trip throughout the season. What's the schedule release on your end as a former player look like?
So you always look first for where's the bye, and then where can we, sneak away and get on whether it's a vacation or whatnot. Yeah, when is our week off, and what day can we plan on that? But it's always the opener. I think that always sets the tone. And then for me, I would always look if there was a Julius Peppers or a Michael Strahan. It would be okay. When do we play those guys? You want it to be. For me, I always wanted to play those speed, tough defensive ends late in the season. Get it sloppier. Those were the things. You look at some individual matchups. Obviously, the divisional games. But really the big things, the big takeaways are always bye week. Do you have a Thursday night game? And then I guess now it sounds like it doesn't matter because it could be a Sunday game that turns into a Thursday game. And then it's that opener because immediately you start already thinking, and I know the coaches will already start thinking about game planning, what that might look like.
Yeah, I'm with you on the whole schedule thing, Tausch. I mean, not just because of the Thursday night, but like I said, I've been volunteering in concessions. I did it at Lambeau. I've done it at American Family Field. You tell me I'm booked for a Sunday noon start, and then you want to kick me to a Thursday night? Like, that's a non-starter. I feel we've talked about the NFL being a show. A lot of other people besides just the players and the coaches and whatever are involved in putting on this show. Got to be hard from an administrative standpoint, too.
Yeah, it's the it's the hotels, it's all of the businesses. And you start talking about the bars up in Green Bay, and all of a sudden you got to reshift. There's so many moving parts. And that's why I just think, you know what? Don't do this. Don't do it.
Mark Tauscher with us every morning at 10 to 8. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk tomorrow.
Sounds good, guys.
Business headlines are up next. They're sponsored by Old National Bank. Get old. Here's the Milwaukee Business Journal's Sean Ryan.
I'm easy like Sunday morning.
Wisconsin cities could soon be encouraged to shrink home lot sizes and stop mandating sidewalks to lower the cost of new home construction. State bills with those and other housing policies could be unveiled today. Milwaukee County orders its employees to use Milwaukee Mitchell Airport when flying on county business. That policy is effective starting Monday, replacing one where county employees were merely encouraged to use Mitchell for business flights. Once planned as its own brick-and-mortar store, a garden shop will debut as a pop-up this weekend in Bayview. Buttercup will remain open until the weather turns chilly this fall. This is Sean Ryan with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
Old National Bank is asking businesses to get old. But first, they have questions.
Who runs my business if I get old?
You do. You can get old and remain young.
Is that possible?
With a commercial bank as good as Old National, yes.
What will it feel like to get old?
Well, business owners describe a feeling of euphoria, having local decision-making and committed relationship bankers.
Okay, one old guy coming up.
Introducing Old National Bank, where business relationships and results matter. Old National Bank. Get old. Member FDIC.
Get help for your house this Saturday from Eric Brown. The president of Siding Unlimited knows his stuff. Yes, their name is Siding, but they do so much more. Windows by Pella and others, roofing, decks. That's why they are Siding Unlimited. Eric can advise you with anything about your home's exterior. Make a point to listen and call Eric this Saturday on WTMJ's Fix It Show. And remember why they are called Siding Unlimited. They are siding and much, much more. See sidingunlimited.com and you'll see.
RJ Schenner has several Toshiba copier printers from James Imaging Systems. IT manager Gabe Colasari.
The reason why for James Imaging is their responsiveness, dedication, knowledge of the product, and they always make sure that the customer is taken care of.
The kind of customer service you'd expect from a 100% Wisconsin-owned and managed office technology company like James Imaging Systems.
We actually have a high-end printing machine on site, so we produce our own catalogs, so we need the support to handle that.
James Imaging Systems. Better document imaging technology, better service.
When we've got a problem, we're able to call in and get it rectified or corrected without any issues.
Gabe, any advice to other local businesses?
Contact James. I mean, they'll take care of you.
James Imaging Systems. Reliable document imaging technology, extraordinary local service. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com. James Imaging Systems, your local office technology partner.
You can't beat Burghardt.
Now open in New Berlin. Your hometown hub for everything that matters. The latest news, traffic, weather, and sports on Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it is 49 degrees. Going to warm up to a high of 70 today with that patchy fog we're still dealing with. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Eric Bilstad. How's that fog affecting the roads? Well, it's been slow, Debbie Lazaga.
It has been. A little bit of good news, bad news. Good news, the accident around Springdale Road was cleared up, westbound 94, so all the lanes on that side are reopened. But now we've got another one at Highway 18, just west of Brookfield Road. So that one does still have the left lane blocked, so the delays are there, and they're sticking around all the way back to the Zoo Interchange. Eastbound slowing down right off of Highway 16 to that point. We've also got backups on northbound 41 through the Zoo Interchange up past Watertown Plank, and southbound 43 finally started to kick in with its delays from Brown Deer Road pretty much all the way down past Hampton Avenue, back on the brakes from Keefe down to about North Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic.
New information coming out this morning about a permanent gallery at the Future Milwaukee Public Museum. That announcement officially coming out later this morning, but WTMJ has learned that the gallery will feature that familiar, popular carryover of the snake button, of course. It's going to be part of the Living in a Dynamic World. It's the fourth of the 5 permanent galleries to be unveiled as the museum looks to open its new building in 2026.
Just as we've taken you on a tour around Wisconsin, we've taken you on a tour around Milwaukee, we've taken you back in time, now we want to take you on a world tour.
That's Helen Daviak from Think Design. The gallery will also include 2 large displays for rotating artifacts from the museum's 4 million piece collection. WTMJ has obtained an early look at the sketches for the new space. You can text the word museum to the Old National Bank talk and text line. We'll send you a link, 855-616-1620, and we can send you a link to that information. Big day today in Washington. President Biden going to meet with top congressional lawmakers to talk about how to raise the debt ceiling before the country defaults on its loan obligations. ABC's Mary Bruce.
Don't expect any big breakthroughs to come in this meeting, and that's because both sides are still digging in. Republicans are demanding steep spending cuts in exchange for raising the nation's debt limit. That is a complete non-starter with the president, who is accusing Republicans of holding the nation's economy hostage.
The U.S. could default on its loans as early as next month. The debt ceiling refers to the legal amount that the government can spend to pay off existing bills. A Janesville high school coach now in jail after recording a device was found inside a girls' locker room. This investigation in Janesville led police to Brian Kitzman after they found a GoPro inside a locker. He was the school's assistant coach for track and field and cross-country teams. Janesville police announcing that Kitzman allegedly admitted to the crime.
He admitted he placed this GoPro, told us it's been going on for 2 years, and that by his estimation, 18 other persons were victims.
According to the criminal complaint, Kitzman had a door that connected to the girls' locker room, and he would film students through a hole in that door as well as through a locker in that locker room. He's back in court next week. An 8-year-old boy from Hurley, Wisconsin, who went missing for 2 days in a state park in the UP, is now back home doing well. Nante Nimi was camping with his family this past weekend and went missing while looking for firewood. He was found about 2 miles from his campsite. With the Bucs head coaching slot now vacant, the search for a new leader is on. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel's Lori Nickel tells Wisconsin's Morning News that it wouldn't be a shock if it were ever to be a female coach.
There's definitely a possibility. I mean, we know Becky Hammond was brought in
is a serious candidate, and we know that there are 16 NBA assistant coaches who are women, never with the Bucks. There's 8 full-time NBA female officials. There's a handful of women in the front office in the NBA.
Former head coach Mike Budenholzer fired after 5 seasons with the Bucks and 1 championship. Sports, traffic, and weather next. Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:07.
News is sponsored by BBC Lighting. Thousands of fixtures plus specialty lights, antiques, and collectibles.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. With spring in the air, a young man's fancy turns to ceiling fans. And BBC gets all the best brands, such as Minka Air, Fanimation, Quorum, and many, many more. With uplights, downlights, no lights, ceiling huggers, and remotes. All are lifetime warranted. In our huge showroom, you'll find the top brands of lights and fans at the lowest prices. I guarantee it. Our expert lighting staff is always here to assist you. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids. BBC is located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue near the Potawatomi Casino. BBC is open Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday from 10 to 4. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Here's a great way to brighten up your Monday and Tuesday. Enjoy a free dinner from the award-winning Fox and Hounds restaurant near Holy Hill. I love the Fox and Hounds. Was just in there recently, had a great dinner. And with the unique atmosphere, friendly staff, and free dinner, you'll find it's the best dining value in the state. Enjoy a fabulous steak, the seafood, pasta, big fresh salad, anything on the menu. Your second dinner is free. No gimmicks. It's that easy. You put your seats in the seats, and only half the dinners get paid for. Ice cream drinks and desserts, too. I love the chocolate cake with the ice cream. 100 wines, 20 fine bourbons, a great beer list to accent your dinner. The Fox and Hounds is tucked into the Kettle Moraine Forest. It is magical. Perfect to celebrate a birthday, anniversary, retirement, or just a quiet free dinner with your sweetie. Just off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The trees are budding, the flowers are blooming. The spring drive through the Kettle Moraine Forest is just beautiful, a must-see. So step away from your kitchen and enjoy a free dinner tonight. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com.
Behind a strong start from Freddie Peralta, the Milwaukee Brewers won their second game in a row Monday night by a final score of 9-3 over the Los Angeles Dodgers. Milwaukee is right back at it tonight against LA. Coverage begins right here on WTMJ beginning at 6:05. Eric Lauer is expected to get the start. Over to the NBA, where the Miami Heat and the Los Angeles Lakers both take a commanding 3-1 lead in their respective series Monday night. The Heat take care of the Knicks 109-101, and the Lakers use a strong second half to take down the Warriors by a final of 104-101. Round 2 of the playoffs continues tonight with Philly and Boston tipping off at 6:30, followed by Phoenix and Denver at 9 p.m. I'm Brandon Snide, WTMJ Sports.
Well, we have this accident westbound 94 just west of Brookfield Road that has the left lane blocked. This is our second one in that area, so be extra careful. Looks like the fog might be starting to burn off a bit, but still it's going to be a problem. The fog didn't affect the accident on northbound 4394. It's at Howard Avenue on the left shoulder, so we're slowing down right out of the Plainfield curve past that point. Out of the Mitchell interchange heading westbound on the bypass as well, going to be slow all the way past Loomis. And then, of course, we've got our backups on northbound 41 right out of the Zoo interchange up past Watertown Plank Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by Harwood Place Senior Living.
Learn more about Harwood Place Retirement Living's newly renovated apartments and updated pricing options at our May 10th open house. To RSVP or to schedule a tour, visit harwoodplace.org.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast, really patchy fog, very dense for at least another couple of hours. Sunny, high of 70 eventually with that sun peeking through. Tonight, clear, a low of 45. For tomorrow, Wednesday, sunny and a high of 75. Should be a nice one. Thursday, sunny, a high of 80. Friday, rain in the forecast, 76 is the high. Saturday, showers and a high of 70 degrees. Right now in Madison, 54, Green Bay, 47, Waukesha, 51, and in Milwaukee, 51 degrees. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:11.
live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is Wisconsin's Morning News. Here's your host, Vince Petrano.
Stick it to him! Bullseye. 8:12 on Wisconsin's Morning News this Tuesday morning. I admit I plan my life to some degree around an announcement that is scheduled for Thursday evening, that being the NFL schedule. And I'm a little bit of a dork that way, but I think a lot of Packers fans share this with me. I'm not saying I wouldn't go to, a family event that you planned, Eric, where I was invited because I got to stay home for the Packers game. I'm not that guy.
Can't go to the wedding.
Right, can't go to the wedding. We're not coming. Packers play. I'm not that guy, but I like to know.
Sure.
And I would plan a major event in my life around a scheduled Packers game. Hey, we're trying to think of when to get the family together for a birthday party or an anniversary event, or even when I was in the nonprofit sector, we're planning our big gala or our run walk. Should we do it so that it coincides exactly with a noon kickoff on a Sunday? No, terrible. It'll hurt attendance if your team's doing well. The NFL is set to release its schedule on Thursday night for the upcoming season. Of course, for us, that's when do the Packers play. And I think a lot of us are probably like that. I put it into my phone right away, so it comes up as a calendar remind. And again, I wouldn't skip major life events to watch a Packers game live, but I would plan things and do plan things around that. And so do many businesses. So do many other entities that are affected by when do the Packers play, because in Wisconsin, it's a big deal. It moves markets. And one of the things that the NFL is considering could really screw that up, even more than it already is to some degree. You've heard of the flex scheduling. And what that allows the broadcast networks to do, or in this case, streaming networks, because Amazon is on board now, streaming some of the games, allows them to say, look, this is the marquee matchup of this week, or these are the good matchups of this week. Why is that one at noon on a Sunday when it's likely to get fewer viewers? We might get more people across the country involved in watching this game if it were airing in one of our primetime slots. Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, moving a noon start to a 3:25 start, or now what the NFL is proposing, moving a possible Sunday start to Thursday night on short notice. From the Green Bay Press-Gazette, Richard Ryman is the reporter. The NFL is poised to make life for Green Bay Packers fans unpleasant, confusing, and expensive. League owners in May will consider a proposal to allow games late in the season to be rescheduled from Sundays to Thursdays to shore up the Thursday Night Football lineup to be streamed on Amazon, which paid $1 billion for the rights to the games. No one, he writes, outside the NFL office and Amazon boardrooms think this is a good idea. Players hate it, coaches hate it, and game-attending fans will learn to hate it with a passion. And I think he's absolutely right.
But what about the casual viewer that wants to see a sexy Thursday night matchup?
That's fine. I mean, okay. Are you really making a lot of NFL viewership decisions for a Thursday night based on the matchup? Maybe, if it's a big marquee. You're like, ooh, this team and this team, or a battle between two teams for a division or whatever. Sure, a sexier matchup might draw some more people to that Thursday night viewership. But the negative impacts to all of the other fans who are attending games, to all the tangential businesses that are affected by the decision, to the teams themselves, many of whom are saying, we don't want this. Mark Murphy, president and CEO of the Packers, among them. Here's his quote in the Green Bay Press-Gazette. I think particularly with our fan base and the way people travel to Lambeau Field, flexing that Thursday night game could be a real issue for our fans. We're against that, but I know it's a priority for the league. The future is streaming. They want Amazon to be successful, but I think we have to be careful about how we treat our fans in the stands.
Can you imagine you're a Packers fan, you live in California, you see there's a big game on a Sunday, you schedule a trip where you're coming in Saturday, you're leaving Monday morning, and then they bounce the game to Thursday.
Yeah. You know, Mark Tauscher joins us at 10 to 8 every day on Wisconsin's Morning News. He was talking about it from a fan perspective of, do we play in Vegas this year?
Maybe.
So let's take that for an example. That was his example. First of all, Vegas is a very Wisconsin destination already,
Absolutely, right?
So we normally don't even need an excuse to go there. You throw a Packers game down there, that's going to be a huge, I mean, it's borderline home game. right?
It will be.
So many people would travel to that game, right? Like to Tausch's point, okay, let's say that was a Sunday 3:25 game. You plan to get in Friday, spend some time there, or even Saturday, stay the weekend, you're out Monday morning. Well, now they changed that to Thursday, 2 weeks ahead of it. They're talking about a window that is close as 15 days out. They could change a Sunday game to a Thursday game. So now what do? You've got 2 weeks to try and change a flight. The airline may or may not cooperate with you on that. You've got to change hotels. You've got to get different time off at work. It blows the whole thing up.
It does seem to alienate the fan base to a certain extent because you think about, we've talked about this, about why they have the sirens and the lights flashing and all these different things to continue to increase the engagement, to make sure that you're constantly giving something to the younger generation of viewers and those interested in football, because not everyone consumes the game the same way, right? And they've had this issue in some stadiums more than others. Lambeau is kind of an outlier where it's always full and people love it and all that. If you start doing this, are you cutting into that already loyal base that is willing to be there to go to the games when you're always constantly making sure or wanting to make sure your stadium is full?
And we've had life without fans in the stands. It's not fun on TV. Even watching a game on TV where you're like, well, what's the difference? I'm still watching. It felt different. It wasn't as much fun. There wasn't the pageantry. There wasn't the energy that fans provide. I love all the crowd shots, seeing these clowns all costumed up for games and stuff like that. I like seeing the tailgate pictures. It's all part of it.
That's a tiny piece, but okay, I'll
But yes,
give you that.
it's part of it. The NFL is a show. It's a show for my entertainment, and that all of those things fit into the entertainment piece for me as a fan. So even watching at home, I don't want to see stadiums that have empty seats. I want them all full of crazy fans going nuts.
But we talk all the time about how there's a lot of fans who want more football, want it on more nights, want to see good games, complain when it's the Lions versus.
Why am I looking at this on Thursday night?
Yeah, this sucks.
That's a clunker.
Yeah.
Okay,
this makes that better.
I guess we appreciate that the Thursday night game is what it is. Look, we have football for your enjoyment tonight. If that's good enough for you, great. And Amazon, maybe that weighs into how much you're willing to bid for it. It just seems to me like the league office has made a decision that's good for the league or good for the NFL front office. It's good for Amazon. It doesn't feel like it's good for virtually anybody else.
Bullseye.
But for the casual fan, right, who watches at home. And there are a ton of ripple effects that I mentioned as well. The NFL is a show. It's put on by a lot of people. And what about staffing up at the stadium? On 2 weeks' notice, your work staff that puts on that event for fans, moving them from a Sunday afternoon where they might have off from their day job and they work Sundays at the game. Now they have to change that. I'm a volunteer because they open up the concessions like they do at American Family Field, like they do at Fiserv, to nonprofit groups. So we've done that with my high school. I've been up there. You tell me I'm booked for a Sunday noon game. That's great. Fine. In fact, we ran into it. I was supposed to work the last game of the year for our organization that was raising money. And that last game of the year was flexed from, I think it was supposed to be a noon start to the 7:25 start, and I was out. I'm like, I can't make this. I can't make this game. So what about all of those volunteers that have to change their schedule? And all of the other ripple effects as well. It feels to me like the NFL is not making the right decision. Old National Bank talk and text line is 855-616-1620. Old National Bank, get old. 855-616-1620. Would love to hear from fans about their thoughts on this decision, how it might affect you. I got this one text I'll read to start. It's a business. They can do what they want. They certainly can. I'm not saying they can't do it.
Can you imagine buying tickets to a musical at the Marcus, and then 2 weeks beforehand they say it's on Thursday now?
Exactly. How would that go over? 8:20 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
Everything you need to know on your way home.
A large manhunt underway in Georgia after a man opened fire inside of a medical building in downtown Atlanta.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News with John McCure.
And let's be real, these polls are stupid.
Sandy Max.
16 was like the age where you went and got a job. Unless you were like 12 or 13 and you got a paper route.
And Greg Matzik.
Would Thanasis Antetokounmpo be on the Bucks roster if his brother wasn't? Would he even be in the NBA? The answer to both questions is no.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on WTMJ.
Longer commutes are a dream. What the heck do you mean, Debbie? Well, Debbie Loziga here, and this past weekend I actually had to go to Madison for an event, and I had a choice to take either the station vehicle or take my new baby, nickname pending. Well, that was pretty much a no-brainer. I opted to take my brand new Mazda CX-30 that I got from Hall Mazda in Brookfield. I wanted to see how it was on a longer ride. And since there was traffic in Madison, I actually got to test out one of the cool features, the adaptive cruise control. Automatically, it can sense how far you are from the car in front and slow down or speed up without you touching the pedals to stay at a particular speed and at a safe distance. I can say it worked like a charm. So if you want to check out some of the cool new features on the new cars out, a steady, beautiful car, head over to Hall Mazda in Brookfield and take a test drive. At Hall Mazda, it's Hall good.
Wealth-changing question. Has your advisor created a portfolio based only on your age and risk tolerance? That's simply not good enough. Your money deserves better, and so do you. At Creative Planning, our private wealth managers learn about you first, and then they create a customized plan and portfolio by partnering with our in-house money managers, accountants, and attorneys. Don't settle for a standard portfolio. Book your free meeting today at creativeplanning.com. Creative Planning, a richer way to wealth.
Live life to the fullest. Hey, you hear that all the time, but it's easier said than done when you're in pain, right? Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. QC Kinetics gives people all around Milwaukee their quality of life by providing much-needed relief for chronic joint pain, and not just providing that relief, but doing it in the most non-invasive way possible, using regenerative treatments from your body's own natural biologics. So where is your joint pain? In your knees, your hips, shoulders, maybe your back? Well, QC Kinetics concentrates these impactful treatments right at the source of your pain, directly applying healing properties where you need them the most. No surgery, no downtime, no steroids or harmful drugs. And patients are raving about the results. So what does living life to the fullest look like for you? Well, finally being able to exercise or walk the dog, maybe enjoying time with the family, or just working your job. Whatever it is, don't wait another day. Call QC Kinetics for your complimentary consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Give them a call. 414-285-3474.
This is fake football.
8:24 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We're talking about the NFL at least considering allowing games to be flexed off of the Sunday schedule into a Thursday night game or vice versa. We haven't really talked about what if you're scheduled for that Thursday nighter. I mean, basically, NFL is saying, you know what, the last 3-4 weeks of the season, let's just not put anything in there.
So the NFL's
just leave it blank.
Considering this. They have not approved it yet. The Packers are voting against it or have voted against it.
Just leave it blank. You may play sometime in this week.
Imagine getting tickets to a movie ahead of time, and then they move the date to the movie time for you.
We're going to go 1:10 at the Marcus Bistroplex there in Greendale on Sunday. No, actually, it's been moved to Friday night. I can't go Friday night.
From the 414, good morning, guys. Come on. You're old enough to realize it's never about the fans. You cannot be that naive to think that the fans matter more than the dollar. No, he's not wrong. He or she is not wrong. And by the way, that goes for everything.
Not just sports.
I'd
not
say
just whatever.
98% of any social argument that you hear about, it has to do with money at the end of the day. But anyway.
Well, I think it does, but here's the thing. We have the dollars. Now, we're talking about TV money that's coming from Amazon and the big networks and whatever. But if there's a slow degradation of the relationship that this league has with its fans, and look, it's not just for people that go to the games. Like I said, you can plan your time out. What if Thursday nights are the night that, you normally do something, you move your schedule around so you can watch your game. Now your game's on Thursday night. I mean, it also affects the TV viewing fan. If fans don't like it, ultimately it impacts their relationship with the league, the money they spend, their viewership of all these games.
To that point, though, I'm the first to admit that I don't go to that many football games anymore, that if they pop on a more interesting game on a Thursday night, I'm more inclined to watch it, right? Wouldn't that be the case? Wouldn't the numbers indicate that if there are more viewers watching Amazon on Thursday because the game is sexier, then this plan is working?
I think just the downside for those fans who also spend money in other ways on gear, on going into the pro shop, and also the maintenance of relationships that each team has in its own communities with its neighboring businesses. I mean, the article that I was talking about in the Green Bay Press-Gazette features, and it was really in-depth about the other ripple effects. I talked about it for me as a volunteer worker up at the stadium. obviously the Packers and the number of people they employ. What about the bars and restaurants? When and how they schedule people out to be around the stadium. They also talk about what about major events that are scheduled nearby? What about things at the Resch Center? When the Green Bay Phoenix play basketball there? What about a concert that you have scheduled for Thursday night that now, what, you're going to have a concert the same night as a Packers game? That's a smaller market. Would it even be able to sustain that? Where would people park? How would they do it? Even the airport is mentioned here as saying,
right?
Yeah, people will kind of trickle in on different times and days before a game, but everybody wants to fly out at the same time. Can Austin Straubel Airport even handle that? What about people who are trying to change their airline tickets? I think it does have the potential to bother enough fans to the extent that, would they stop watching the NFL? No.
But they'd stop buying tickets.
They'd stop buying tickets.
Yes, that would be the thing.
And also, maybe you just become a little bit less worried about it. I don't know when these guys play. I'm not going to plan my life around it anymore. I'm not going to make it appointment viewing. I'll look. If I miss a game, I miss a game. Oh, well.
See, I think you're over-dramatizing
I'm awfulizing?
it a bit. For people buying tickets, absolutely. But I think that's the only ones it really affects, not the person who casually canceled his Cub Scout den meeting that night and now has to have his den meeting on another night because
that's
of the game.
Real thing.
Oh, come on. Come on. Vince, this flex schedule seems like a very heavy-handed play by Amazon. It's not good for anyone else. When a league, organization, team, etc. starts making decisions based on the needs of a sponsor combined with the casual fan, this alienates the hardcore fan. It then creates a negative ripple effect that diminishes the overall experience. This is an ultimate in hypocrisy, given that Amazon's number one reason why they're able to succeed as much as they have is because their main focus has been on the user customer experience. This is a line in the sand moment.
See, and I totally agree with that. And I don't think this is going to bring down the NFL next year if they were to do it. All of a sudden, viewership plummets, all these fans are angry, and it destroys the NFL. But there can be a degradation in the relationship that teams have with their fans, and it sometimes doesn't take that long. Look at what happened with Budweiser. Apples and oranges kind of thing. But people spoke immediately with their wallets about a brand to which they had been fiercely loyal. That's about what they like to drink. And they said, I'm not drinking this anymore because you bothered me.
But fans are still watching TV shows that Bud Light may sponsor.
Sure. Fair enough.
From 414, concerts also get moved and you don't hear too much feedback. Ask Atlanta fans about Janet Jackson or an artist pushing a show to a day later due to an illness.
Yeah, and they don't like that, but that's a one-time,
Who's the guy you hate, Shawn Mendes? Is that the one?
I don't hate him. He just, how many times did he cancel his show because he can't be out there? Whatever.
That's different.
A concert is a once in a lifetime or every now and then sort of thing.
And they don't move it 3 days apart. They cancel it and then reschedule for months later.
And people complain about it, but they
still sucks. But
they accept that as part of that industry. It's not something that's planned week in and week out where you can't rely on what is the schedule. I mean, really, we would be looking at, to be reasonable here, the last several weeks of the NFL schedule. Just leave it blank then, right? If anybody could be moved or flexed, just what are they just going to be blank squares?
Yeah.
I don't like it. 8:29 in Wisconsin's Morning News.
When severe weather strikes, you can count on WTMJ's Fleet Farm severe weather coverage to keep you safe and informed.
Tornado warnings in effect for Jefferson and Walworth counties.
I'm on Highway 11 now. For the last 5 minutes or so, it's been just an immense lightning storm.
If you're in Delavan, go to a place of shelter now.
Severe weather coverage on WTMJ. Sponsored by Fleet Farm, proudly serving the Midwest since 1955.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Next up, the Crew battles the Royals for a weekend duel. Friday, May 12th through Sunday, the 14th. Fulfill your Jedi destiny at Star Wars Night on Saturday, the 13th. And receive a Luke Skywalker bobblehead with purchase of a special ticket package. Plus, take home a one-of-a-kind Brewers wristlet for 10,000 moms on Mother's Day. Sunday, May 14th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get your seats today at brewers.com/promotions.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis.
When you say Hasslis Mattress doesn't have employees, it's not a trick just so you can jump out and yell, surprise, right?
No.
So, no surprises?
Well, now through Monday, get a $200 credit on your new Sealy Posturepedic or Beaterest mattress just for shopping local.
I'm feeling faint.
Free next day delivery, too. Surprise. Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you or shop online at Hasselist.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's Greg Matzik for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac. Hey, summer is near, and the Memorial Day sale at Holiday is here. Prime time to say yes to enticing offers on Wisconsin favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Or explore the exceptional value and peace of mind of a GM-certified pre-owned model. Make Holiday your destination to get more vehicle for your buck, more for your trade, and enjoy award-winning guest care. It's the stuff that delights and makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State. And I'm one of those fans, and know from my own personal experience, you'll be in excellent hands with Team Holiday on your side. Proud and grateful to be recognized as Buick Dealer of the Year per 2022 Buick Zone sales records. With selection expanding daily, you can choose one that's in stock today or reserve one that's on the way. Find yours and discover the difference during the Memorial Day sale at Holiday Chevrolet, Buick and GMC, Highway 41 and 23 in Fond du Lac, and online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
8:32 on Wisconsin's Morning News. We do have some major traffic delays that we want to get to, so I'm going to send it right over to Eric in the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
All right, Debbie Lazaga.
Okay, yeah, it is on westbound 94 at Highway 18. We have the two left lanes blocked right now because of a crash, and that is really wreaking havoc. Delays all the way back to the zoo, basically. We also have another accident northbound on 4394 right about at Howard Avenue. That's got the left shoulder blocked, so at least that's out of traffic, but it is definitely slowing things down out of the Mitchell interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores, Highway 100 and Layton Avenue, 23rd and Lincoln. Great stores, great cause, and unbelievable bargains. You're going to love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast: patchy fog, dense at times, sunny later, a high of 70 degrees inland today. Tonight, clear sky, a low of 45. For Wednesday, sunny, a high of 75. Thursday, sunny, a high of 80. Friday, some rain, a high of 76. Saturday, showers in the forecast and a high of 70 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, 52. I'm Eric Bilstead, Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:33.
CPAP is one option that can be used to keep the throat open at night. It can work. There are other ways of keeping that airway open other than the machine. Another option that most people have never heard of is an oral appliance. An oral appliance is like a retainer that you wear when you're sleeping at night. It's super slim, slides in your mouth, and what it does is it helps to keep your airway open. That's exactly what a CPAP machine does. Most people who are good candidates for a CPAP machine to treat their sleep apnea are also good candidates for an oral appliance. Most of those people never get offered an oral appliance. Advent has decided to change the practice of medicine in this country by offering oral appliances to our patients. And what that means is we are allowing our patients to have the choice of a CPAP machine, oral appliance when they have sleep apnea, and that's a big deal.
Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventNows.com.
Life's more rewarding at Blaine's Farm and Fleet, especially when it comes to gardening. Right now, get unbeatable deals on supplies to support your backyard bounty, like select Fiskars garden hand tools, just $4.99. Save $10 on large bags of Estate Sun to Shade grass seed. Rewards members save an extra $10. Shop our selection of live flowers and plants in our outdoor garden center, now open at most locations. Plus, get Blaine's best price promise, the guaranteed lowest price, or we'll match it.
Find value at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Hey WTMJs, John Mercure here. One of my very favorite parts of our great Wisconsin summer is the EAA Air Venture Oshkosh. I grew up making memories at Air Venture every year. The air shows, the planes, the people, the food, the fun, stuff for kids, stuff for adults, all the excitement. This year, the EAA Magic is from July 24th to July 30th. Get your tickets now at EAA.org. Create new memories for your family this summer. Join me at EAA. Check it out, EAA.org.
$8:36 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Want to get to this once again because I know folks join us through the morning. Eric had it in the news at the top of the hour. We talked about it at 7:20 as well. Some new information due out later today about another permanent gallery at the future Milwaukee Public Museum. There's an announcement set for 9:30 this morning. However, I've learned some details that I can share with you ahead of that already. This one being the biggest. I posted this as sort of my headline when I shared the story on social media. In this new gallery, the snake button carries over.
There will definitely be a snake button, and we're thinking at least one of them are located here.
The snake button will be featured in the space called Living in a Dynamic World. This
Thank
is the fourth,
Lord.
Yes, of 5 permanent galleries to be unveiled as the museum is looking to open its new building in 2026. Yeah, it's almost exasperating because there were a number of things that drove people nuts when it was like, okay, the museum's building a new building, and it was, we were first told, like, hey, just so you know, we're not taking everything out bolt by bolt and putting it in the new building.
Which is a good thing.
Yes.
Which is a good thing.
And then everyone started the what ifs. Well, what about and what ifs and what abouts? What about the streets of old Milwaukee? What about the dinosaurs? What about this thing that I love, that thing that I love? And the snake button is one of those things that we all know and love, if you know about it. I'm surprised. Every now and then I run into somebody who doesn't know about the snake button.
Doesn't know that it exists? Doesn't know to press the button?
You remember when your kids were younger and they went over to the snake button? Did you show them or did they show you?
That is a good question. I think they just saw the line of people waiting to press.
Hey, something's going on over here. The little snake button that's hidden by the buffalo exhibit. You have the native peoples to hunting the buffalo, and there's that little button that's kind of hidden there. It's supposed to be sort of hidden.
Okay.
And you push the button, and then the rattlesnake goes.
It's good.
From time to time, it would be out of order, and you'd be like, oh, my God. I don't even know why I came here. So it's a big deal, right? It's one of those little pieces of nostalgia that people were hoping would carry into the new space, and in fact, it will. Again, the new gallery will be called Living in a Dynamic World. MPM has been usually a few weeks apart doing one of these reveals where they offer video and sketches and descriptions of the new galleries.
It's a brilliant strategy, by the way.
Yeah, because we've talked about it every time.
It gets it in the news. Helps with fundraising, I'm sure.
And as I mentioned, this gallery will be 4 of the 5 to be revealed.
Just as we've taken you on a tour around Wisconsin, we've taken you on a tour around Milwaukee, we've taken you back in time. Now we want to take you on a world tour.
That's Helen Diviank. She's from Think Design. That's the company creating the galleries and exhibits in the new museum. And you'll hear more as well from Think Design's Aronde Wright in a moment. Not everybody has this yet. Information was shared with me, Eric, ahead of the news conference, and full reveal coming up at 9:30 this morning. If you want to see what we have, even look at some of the sketches of this new space, text the word museum to the Old National Bank talk and text line, 855-616-1620. Old National Bank, get old. 855-616-1620. Text the word museum, and we will send the link to our online story out to you. I have that on my social media as well. So, again, the news conference at 9:30 this morning. What else can I tell you at this point? You got the snake button. Okay. This is a really kind of cool part of the museum. It's going to be like a little bit geography, a little bit geology, and a little bit of sociology sort of all coming together in these immersive experiences.
In this world tour, we're looking at a diversity of landscapes, from the Arctic landscapes to deserts to grasslands, and looking at who lives there, what lives there, and how do these landscapes impact how life is lived there, from habits to habitats.
So yeah, she mentioned what? Arctic, islands, grasslands, mountains, and deserts. And when you're in the desert area, that's where, among other things, you do find the snake button. But a number of other things, and then you learn about people who lived in desert landscapes. What is their culture? How did the weather and the climate affect that culture? What things were important to the people there because of that? Also, they'll have, if you're in the desert area, a permanent exhibit on ancient Egypt.
We really want to focus on ancient burial practices and the ancient Egyptian understanding of the afterlife. Being able to look at the mummies and the sarcophagi and really give the context about, why did that practice come into play? How did the environment lead people to preserve their loved ones in this state?
And then along with that, this is the area of the museum that's also going to include 2 exhibit spaces that are flexible. And one of them is 3 stories high with display space where they can rotate out items from the museum's vast collection of artifacts. I asked you already, so you can't play, but I'll ask you at home for a moment. How many artifacts do you think the museum has in its collection? I promise you're short if you weren't listening earlier. It's 4 million. How many have we seen? Like a fraction of that, right?
If that.
Yeah, part of it is because they just don't have the space. Now, some of them are small, like an arrowhead is an artifact. Also, like giant skeleton of dinosaur. That's an artifact as well. So it ranges from all different things, and these will now be able to be better displayed.
It would be a range of large ancient fossils to cultural items to gorgeous precious gems that really give you a sense of the diversity and variety that's held within the 4 million plus objects held at the museum.
I mean, I don't know about you, based on what I've seen so far, how they've continued to roll this out, the thoughtful nature with which all of these galleries and exhibits are being designed, how they've incorporated everything into that thought process. I'm super impressed.
Yeah, I like the transparency on just how this is ever designed and thought about. I've never actually processed that before. I've never really thought about how a museum does anything, right?
Just build the diorama.
Yeah.
Right, I built the diorama before, put some animals in there and be done with it.
You hear the explanation that does give it a little bit more context. And they have one more, right, that they still need to unveil?
Yes, we're at 4 of 5. The next big reveal is coming up later this month. That's for the Rainforest Gallery.
So then we need something else, though. Like what after that? That's later this month, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, still we got
Then
a few
you wait
years.
till 2026,
No,
and then
they have to have some.
What
you know,
else do you want to know?
Got to hear about it again later, right? Like, will we follow the slow build? Will we be able to go see them dig the hole? Like, you know,
sure.
They got to stay in the news, right?
There'll be building progress and all of those things. I just don't know about how much more information there
The
is out
garage
there.
sale for some of the millions of artifacts they're selling.
Tearing stuff off the wall. How much can we get for this?
That would be awesome. It's like County Stadium. They just have stuff.
All the chairs, right, that went on sale. Yeah, I mean, there will be other things that they can tell us. I don't know that they're going to hold a news conference when they decide what color the paint's going to be.
The swatches. That would be great.
Today, the reveal on the upholstery in the cafeteria.
Here's the tile for the bathrooms.
I don't think we're doing that. The next big reveal, like I said, that's going to be for the rainforests. And if you're wondering about the butterflies, yes, that's where they are going to end up. There will be a butterfly exhibit similar to the one that we have, and that's going to be in the next big reveal coming up later this month. Again, if you want to have a look for yourself, 855-616-1620. Text the word museum. We'll send you the sketches that we've posted on our website. I mean, bottom line is this is all about making the museum new and fresh and exciting while also preserving that which we love.
As always, we are looking at ways to bring what is nostalgic and what's powerful and what people remember to the future museum. But we'll also say there's always going to be some surprises.
And also the snake button.
There will definitely be a snake button.
Well, we got a new accident to deal with now. Westbound 94 at just past Moreland Road, and then we've got the other one that's got the 2 left lanes blocked at Highway 18. So it'll be solid right from the zoo to that point. So be prepared for that. We've also got eastbound backing up a bit from about 92nd Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. Northbound 41 is going to be a bit slow from Blue Mound Road up past Swan Boulevard. Southbound on 43, you'll see the delays kicking in just south of Bender Road, actually at about Bender Road, all the way down to Hampton Avenue. I'm Debbie Lazico with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Sister Bay Furniture. My wife is out there on Sunday relaxing in our beautiful new chat set. That's what they call it. A couple of chairs and a little table that goes in between. If you want to have a look at what we chose out at Sister Bay, I did post some of the pictures up on my various social medias. Sister Bay was quick to comment, said looking good.
It does look good. It looks very comfortable.
It's super comfortable and then, of course, super durable as well because Sister Bay Furniture is premium, high-quality outdoor furniture that's built in Wisconsin, built for Wisconsin. This isn't the stuff that you have to take in and out of the house or the garage because it's commercial-grade quality for your outdoor space. It's designed to withstand any kind of weather that Wisconsin can throw at it. And if, like my wife and me, you walk in and you're like, I'm not really sure what we're looking for, they have professionals there in the showroom that can help you pick out what's right for you. A lot of different styles and colors to choose from. They can help you sort through all of that. You can go out there to the showroom, visit them and talk with them in person. They're right there in Sussex on Executive Drive. No, it's not in Sister Bay. That's just the name. Sussex on Executive Drive, or you can even shop ahead. This is probably helpful. SisterBayFurniture.com to take a look at the entire selection. Sister Bay Furniture, built in Wisconsin for Wisconsin.
Do you hear that? Asthma triggers are everywhere, from dust mites, pet dander, and pollen, to smog and smoke. An asthma attack can strike anywhere, anytime. Be prepared with quick-acting Primatene Mist. Clinically proven to open airways quickly It's the #1 FDA-approved asthma inhaler available over the counter. Primatene Mist. Breathe easy again. Use as directed.
Hey, you know what I don't get? Why is that company always telling you to just do what? What is it? To just look like everybody else? Or maybe just pay way too much for your shoes? Well, at Skechers, we know what we want you to do. Just slip in. That's right, just slip in to new hands-free Skechers slip-ins. Why? Because slip-ins are the easiest, most comfortable shoes ever. You don't have to bend down to put them on. You don't even have to touch them. Find slip-ins for the whole family at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
For your new roof, we'll give you the hands-down best lifetime workmanship warranty in the industry. You can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Differentiation Officer Brian Wickert reminding home shoppers that working with AccuNet is different and better than working with your bank. Most bank pre-approvals state they've only verified the potential home buyer's credit, but not their income or money for down payment. To us, that's just crazy. AccuNet's rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval tells the seller we've checked out all three aspects of your financial health and that we'll pay $2,000 if our pre-approval is faulty. Banks don't do that, but they do have a lot of overhead with all their vice presidents and fancy branches. We keep overhead low, which means lower rates and closing costs that are typically $1,000 to $3,000 lower than banks. Most importantly, our loan consultants can show you and your agent how to improve your financing and appraisal contingencies so your offer has the best chance of winning in a multiple offer situation. Hey, don't settle for a flimsy, unimaginative bank pre-approval. Click on the blue button today for your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval. That's ACCUNET.com.
8:48 on Wisconsin's Morning News. So, this story out of Waukesha where a guy who's, in fairness, kids seemed a little bit old to be playing Ding Dong Ditch, but they were playing Ding Dong Ditch,
So
and this guy snatches somebody.
Here's the thing. If you ever, I just giving you some advice here. If anyone ever pranks your house, Ding Dong ditches you, what you should not do is take the child. Like, just, you want to call the cops or get frustrated by it, scream at them, fine. Just don't take the child.
Was this like citizen's arrest? Come in here, young man.
62-year-old man arrested for putting a teenage boy in his car after becoming upset over a group of kids playing a prank. Yes, they were ding-dong ditching on Friday in Waukesha. 12 and 13-year-old boys, 4 of them were doing this in a neighborhood. Guy got a little annoyed by it. Got frustrated by it. He threatened the kids and placed one of them in his vehicle to take him to the police or to his parents. Now, he ultimately ended up at a Woodsman's where the boy was reunited with his parents. So I don't know how they got that part. I haven't learned yet is how he ended up at Woodman's, if that's where they decided to drop
To
kid
meet
off.
for the drop-off? What, was there a ransom demand?
I don't know. If he said text your parents right now, maybe it was one of those kind of things. And this, according to Freeman.
Come pick you up at the Woodman's. I've had enough of this.
So he was taken into custody. He was arrested. Police are going to recommend charges of disorderly conduct, intimidation of a victim, and all that stuff. My favorite is Captain Dan Bauman, who I'm a big fan of Captain Bauman.
Waukesha PD.
Yeah, yep. He says in a statement, as innocent as this may be, childhood pranks can get out of hand and escalate rapidly.
Okay, yeah,
which is
that's
true.
fair.
Like, yeah, you know what? Like, yeah, you think it's innocent, and it is for the most part, but still, it's not everyone's favorite thing, obviously, and it can get very annoying very quickly, obviously.
And it's not 1980 anymore.
Correct.
Right? When we were kids.
He also says this, Captain Bauman, equally, if not more important, adults, please take a second and think the desirability of what you are about to do. So, yeah, take a beat before you decide to take the child and put him in your vehicle and then drive somewhere with him. This was an avoidable incident, says the captain.
And they didn't know each other, huh?
They did not know each
So
other.
it's one thing to take the neighborhood kid that you know, and you know the parents and you're whatever.
Sure.
Hey, Jimmy, get in the car. I'm taking you home or whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe that can be sorted out amongst parents who are friends, or you or me if we lived on the same block and my kid was being obnoxious. Hey,
Right.
get in the car. You're going home. I'm taking you home to your parents. I called your dad. He's mad. He'll be waiting for you.
I guess you can justify that.
Yeah. You can't just snatch a kid for playing Ding Dong
Right.
Ditch. The Paranoia game is still running full-fledged in Greendale. We talked about that. When was that? Friday? We shared with everyone listening. And
Man, this lasts a long time.
Oh, it's only second roundy. The brackets are out
Oh,
again.
okay. All right.
We were talking about this game. A lot of folks I've seen over the weekend since we talked about it Friday say, oh, yeah, it's going on in our community. Some places use squirt guns, some use Nerf guns, but high school seniors, it's a big contest between teams that divide up amongst friend groups, one team trying to take out another team. Some of them have various rounds of the game. I believe that it's mostly good. I love what it does for the young people. They're hanging out with each other. My daughter told me, like, people that we don't normally hang out with, we were hanging out. Like, we had an encounter. These guys got out. These guys are still in, whatever. But then we hung out. They're people we know, but we don't talk. And it was good for school excitement, school spirit,
Yeah.
all of that stuff.
Good memories before graduating.
We did cite that a number of area police departments have expressed concern about it because there have been police calls, and that's a very serious thing. Like I said, it's not 1980 anymore, so police get freaked out when they get a call from some person who said, there's kids running around my neighborhood talking about shooting each other.
And some of them don't have clothes on.
Nudity is a part of some of the games.
Just
You
saying.
can't get out in the game called Paranoia if you're naked. Now, some teams do that, or some schools do that, and some don't. Fortunately, that part of the equation has not entered my household.
Bullseye!
But one other thing that impresses me about this is I'm following as a spectator and a little bit of a fan of the Paranoia game going on.
A little
in
bit of a
Greendale.
fan,
A little
but
bit of a
okay.
fan. Is the intricacy with which this game has been devised and is currently being officiated. There's basically one Paranoia czar, and from what I can tell, that's Kaysen. So Kaysen is in charge.
All right.
And Kaysen is the czar, like, he basically sets the rules. And he gets to determine when people report this guy. Eric's out, I got him, and you're supposed to take pictures and all this stuff. But what's funny is there have been a number of posts. So the kids post pictures of each other and things like that.
Sure.
But then when there are rules updates, then it's just a black background on Instagram with white text. So it's sort of like, ooh, this is official. It's coming out from the
Gotta
top.
read this, yeah.
That's right. So there have been various rule updates. One clarification was you can't open someone's car door and, like, basically drag them out of the car.
Oh, all
okay.
right, all right.
Also, you can't open someone's door to their home. They can let you in. A sibling could let you
You
in.
can be invited.
But you can't, like, break into people's houses. Parking lots are also off limits, including, quote, religious stuff. In other words, if you go to
You wanna
church
be
or a temple
baptized?
or what, right? Can't be waiting on Sunday for churchgoers. But then the other part that was funny to me is, I think, as anyone who's in charge of anything, young, old, or otherwise, you start to get frustrated with people who aren't helping you. And this post it kind of got me. Just wanted to remind all players that this is meant to be a fun game. Sounds like something that we could have here at work,
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Just wanted to remind everyone this was supposed to be fun. We apologize if any decisions made have upset players in any way, but these situations, it is difficult to please all teams and players. He goes on to talk about a number of issues with rules violations and how he's going to be the one that, listen, I got to make a call on this, and that's just going to have to stand. If you don't like it, you can quit. I love this line. It has been a challenging job being in charge of players out, police situations, disagreements, running the account, responding to those who have questions, etc. So if anyone would like to take over or feels they could do a better job, let me know.
I love it.
Just a heads up, it's not as easy as it looks. This guy's going to be a great middle manager
Oh,
someday.
absolutely. He absolutely will be.
Already set
Getting
for the
great
work
experience.
world. See, thanks to Paranoia. 8:55 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There are heroes among us who run toward danger rather than away from it. We call them first responders. This is Steve Scafidi. WTMJ is partnering with Educators Credit Union to honor police officers, firefighters, and countless others who work every day to protect our families and loved ones. Do you have a first responder you would like to nominate? Go to WTMJ.com, click on the Salute to Service banner, and share your story. We'll bring you the incredible stories during Salute to Service Month in May.
Steve Scafidi's Salute to Service with Educators Credit Union. Details now at WTMJ.com.
I don't want to go to bed at night dreading waking up in the morning knowing that I'm going to feel like a rusty lawn chair, getting out of bed and getting opened up and not being able to really move for a couple hours really throughout the day.
For former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter and those dealing with daily aches and pains, QC Kinetic